All right, guys. So today we got Express earnings. Leslie Joseph, DS Dan. Uh, Express missed their earnings report. We'll put this up on the screen. Busy day today, man. We got a lot of stuff going on today. With the morning stream probably being the slowest stream, but later on today we got a lot of stuff to do. Express did first quarter EPS of 99-cent loss versus 18-cent loss in the prior year. Sales miss estimates as well. Put this number up on screen. There's the Express numbers at the bottom. We also have the FOMC minutes report. We've got NVIDIA earnings. Nothing really shook the market overnight. It's more so what shook the market yesterday during market hours, which my guess would be that I think the Fed's probably going to keep raising rates, or at least somebody said that, and the market kind of corrected back down. That's my guess, but who knows, man? You know. Gold bounced back yesterday. That's nice. Yeah, lots of red for sure. Let's see if we can figure it out. All right, so BLK's writer says the U.S. economy is moderating, but it is not a given that it will go into a deep recession. This is old. All right, so Lenovo lowered the company's headcount since by 8 to 9% since last fiscal year. Meta challenge against the European antitrust regulators' request for information has been rejected by a European court. So the ECB's President Lagarde reiterated yesterday that the ECB will bring rates to sufficiently restrictive levels and keep them at those levels for as long as necessary. Now, today we have NVIDIA earnings. We've got the Fed minutes, FOMC report. And we'll see if we get something good. So yeah, yesterday the global S&P flash report. We missed it. I had to do. It was my son's graduation ceremony. So my son did. My son graduated from third grade. So it was his third and fourth grade award ceremony, not graduation, but my son won an award. So, but yeah, so the S&P Composite Flash yesterday came in at 54.5. Previous was 53.4. Services PMI came in 55.1 versus 52.6. Expected. Global manufacturing PMI came in at 48.5 versus 50 expected. But yeah, that's kind of what came out yesterday. And again, we were gone yesterday, so do you know what stocks are going to trade today? No, not really. I honestly have no idea what stocks I'm going to get in. Disney's pulling back a little bit, but I did take most of my Disney trade off. If you guys remember, I had hundreds of shares, and now I have less, much less. So this isn't really super worrisome. I might add a little bit. I might just not do anything. I'm also in PayPal, but I'm pretty close to break even in PayPal. Gold is doing a little bit better. So just gonna sit tight in these. Hey, thanks, Brian. Mine won acts of service. So apparently my son's always like helping people charge their iPads and like doing acts of service for people. So he won acts of service. Did y'all copy and paste each other, or did y'all post exactly the same thing in exactly the same way? Hey, what's up, DS? What's up, Pawn? Yeah, man, that was cool. Congrats on your son, man. Out of the Shell's a good one, you know. I always try to teach my kids you gotta be confident, you gotta be outgoing, you know. Yeah, for sure. What's up, Peggy? Can see market going down until debt ceiling is sorted. Yeah, we got about another week for that. I think they're gonna get it done, but we still got like a week. So we'll see, but you know, gotta wait for that. And again, today's the Fed minutes report. We also have Kohl's dropping their earnings today. Kohl's drops at 7. EXPR is already out. They did 99-cent EPS versus 79-cent expected. Yeah, I sold my Tesla too, believe it or not. So I actually got out of Tesla at like 190s yesterday, which I'm very glad I did because Tesla came all the way back, bro. So I actually did get out. I'm out. I'm completely flat in Tesla now, and maybe we'll add it back on a pullback or a dip. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with my exit. I wasn't holding much of Tesla though. Like you can kind of see what I did with Tesla. I bought Tesla at 175s. I sold the first half at 180, and I sold the last half at 191.78. The highs of yesterday were 192.90s, and so pretty good. I mean, pretty close to the highs yesterday. Yeah, market's looking red. This is probably when I'm going to start adding to it. We got Nvidia earnings. It depends on what we think Nvidia earnings are going to be. I can't imagine Nvidia does bad for earnings, but of course anything could happen. You know, Nvidia could do bad. I don't know. Um, but EXPR down big. Yeah, I'm happy with the out for sure. Gonna think about maybe adding back to it today, but we'll see. You know, SPY pulled back heavily. SPY was at basically 418. I mean, it's not a bid, but SPY pulled back $5, and so it's a red day, but the market's still up a lot over the last 20 days. The market's green. Uh, yeah, last 20 days, market's green. Last 10 days, market is green, and so Nvidia earnings are this evening. They're not this morning. They're this evening. Now let's do a poll. Does the market rebound from the red action it showed yesterday? Does the market rebound, guys? Let me know. I think it probably does, but who knows, man? It depends on what Nvidia and the Fed minutes show. Yeah, so Express dropping down from everything. But yeah, we're back. Hold on, Nvidia at 1340s or NVDS. Yeah, NVDS is the right investment manager. I don't know anything about this one. Looks like an ETF, Nvidia Bear ETF. So you're basically Nvidia is going to go down. Oh man, oh, I'm up though. Slept pretty good. All right, but yeah, the market is really red here. Again, Express. We have KSS earnings dropping this evening, or not this evening. I'm sorry, dropping in about 30 minutes. I think 1920 golden cart's what I have on my end. Yeah, I got a little bit of gold in my portfolio right now. A little bit, not a huge amount, but you know. Yeah. So again, the question is, do you think the market's going to bounce back? We did a poll today. Does the market bounce back? About 50 votes. 66% say no. They do not think the market is going to bounce back. 35% think yes, the market is going to bounce back. We'll see. Again, we'll see. But today's a busy day, man. We just got a lot of stuff going on. All right, guys. Yeah, what's up, Ricky? Hope y'all are doing good, man. All right, yeah, guys. Q down to 332s. Spider bounce. Yeah, I think we'll probably bounce today, but who knows? Is WSM earnings today? Williams Sonoma. I don't know. I think they were yesterday, actually. So I think WSM earnings were yesterday, and they ended up doing well for their earnings, but then they pulled back a little bit now. Bounce up or down, though. Well, there's only one way to bounce. Well, I'm sure the dollar index is probably loving this right now. Yeah, the dollar index is up a lot in pre-market. So the Dixie's loving this right now. It's up a lot in pre-market. It's up to 103.75, which is not really surprising. You know. All right, guys. So yeah, again, I tend to think we'll probably get a bounce, but I don't know, man. Market's down a lot, so the market is down a lot. Williamson earnings, yeah, I think the market will probably bounce. I just think it's down a lot. Now it might continue down. One of the things is like we don't know if it's going to go up, down, or sideways. We don't know if it's going to continue down, continue going up, or whatever. Um, guys, the Q at 332.30s here, so the Q is weak as well. Is there any big catalyst that I missed to make the market drop? Like, is this the debt ceiling talks that are making the market fall, or what? Yeah, probably debt ceiling. Um, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. All right, so look at Express pop up here. So Express is moving back up a little bit. They did drop their earnings report, which missed on both. Higher loss than expected for EPS, lower revenue than expected for EPS. And today's a pretty busy day, though. So we got a lot of stuff going on today. Again, dollar index is loving this. Gold is liking this as well, obviously. There's generally an inverse relationship with like weakness and strength in gold. And so gold's up a lot over the last day. I mean, it's not up a ton, but it's certainly up more than it was yesterday. So yeah, we'll see what other news drops for the debt ceiling and all this stuff. What's up, Layla? Good morning. China dumped overnight. UK inflation higher than expected. Yeah. Sounds like this is debt ceiling news, though. Uh, all right, so there is a significant gap between house. There's still a significant gap between the House and the White House on how to resolve the debt ceiling deadline. They said yesterday. Yellen warned yesterday or Monday that Congress has only a little time left to pass legislation to avoid a first ever U.S. default. Several other analysis back up Yellen's forecast that the so-called X date when the nation would default could arrive in early June. That they don't necessarily think it's as early as June 1st. 60% of Americans say Congress should only raise the nation's debt ceiling if it cuts spending at the same time, according to a new CNN poll. So yeah, it definitely needs to be here before the end of the week. The deadline is June 1st, and that is next Thursday. So we will see. Yeah, Wall Street stocks closed lower Tuesday as investors grow increasingly concerned about a lack of progress regarding the U.S. debt ceiling. Yeah, for sure. It's a slippery slope right now, man. I hope we get it done. I think we probably will, but who knows? All right, guys. So, all right, so Express started to move up. You can see the SPY bounce back up at like 412s here. What are your income taxes like over your side of the pond? Have they changed much in recent years? No. The biggest thing that saves me, I mean, I still have to pay tens of thousands of dollars in income tax, man, every year. Uh, I mean, mine are still pretty high, but I can write off my kids, dependents. I'm in Texas as well, where I don't have state income tax, and so I only have federal income tax, and so it's not as bad as it could be. Well, the U.S. has a marginal tax rate, and so what I usually do is I pay for part of my income, I pay a certain amount, and then the higher my income goes, anything over a certain amount, I have to pay more. It's marginal tax rate. Yeah, but Finch, the way it works, man, is I'm at the 12% rate here in the US if I keep it under 83K per year. Well, in that regard, number one, I'm gonna preface this with I am not a tax professional. Okay, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything and anything I say. I do know that it's a marginal rate though. And so like, you know, I'm just gonna assume that I'm gonna pay the same over 83K into 24%. Yeah, but the majority. So like for instance, Finch. So like you would pay even if you made over 83K, right? Like let me explain this to you. So like even if you made over 83K, you're not going to have to pay 24% on the entire 83K. You know that, right? Like that's not how it works. It's marginal, right? So if you made over 83K, say you made 100K, right? You would pay your 12% on the 83,000, and then on the $17,000 that you made over that, on the rest of it you would pay 24%. If that's the increase. I don't know what the increase is, but my point is it's marginal. It's not like if you go up to 84K, all of a sudden you got to pay 24% on the whole thing. That's not how it works. It's marginal. So if anything you make over 83K, you're going to have to pay 24% on, but that still shouldn't discourage you from trying to make more than that if you can, I guess is my point. Market's starting to bounce back. SPY almost up to 413s. My property tax is high relative to the rest of the country, for sure. It's high. All right, guys. Hey, SPY up to 413s. Yeah, trust me, I like taxes less than anybody. You know, I don't like taxes. Again, I gotta pay tens of thousands of dollars in taxes every year. I hate taxes. Here in Cali, we're paying 4,000 a year for our house. Honestly, that's not that bad for relative to what I'm paying right now, and I am paying way more than that. About I'm not even going to be specific about how much I pay at my current house, but it is not that. I wish it was that. Um, all right, guys. So yeah, Express started to bounce back up. You can see the SPY getting up there. So SPY is over 412s now. It's at about 413s. It's pushing towards that now. Let's see if it continues to bounce back. Thoughts on the Q today? I mean, Q is just tech. Tech is down. It depends on if it bounces back. $7,800 a year in property tax in Illinois. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be specific about how much I pay, but it's a lot. See what Palantir did yesterday? No. Yeah, Palantir gave a lot of it back yesterday, but it's been pumping up a lot. I mean, I don't expect it to hold all these gains that it made. You know, that's not a reasonable expectation. I don't expect it to hold these gains. Um, yeah, so Express hit 69, which is an all-time low. Or the all-time low is 57. So yeah, it's doing rough. I don't know. I mean, I don't expect PLTR to continue moving up nonstop. I mean, it's going to have flows and upward movement and downward movement. That's a pretty normal thing for stocks. It's down to 1220s now. Again, the SPY is just down a lot. We do have Cole's numbers coming out in about 11 minutes or so. So we do have Cole's numbers dropping in about 11 minutes or so. So we'll see what they show. But we do have Cole's numbers. Yeah, that's great. 150 a year. I wish, But I mean, again, it's a balancing thing. So like here in Texas, your property tax is really high, but you don't have a state income tax, right? So like, what's the average? The average state income tax are 8.2%, right? 8.2% of your income is the average state income tax, right? Texas doesn't have state income tax, so I don't have to pay that, 8% of my income to the state. And so, they kind of make it back on the property tax. Um, I guess SPY up to 413s. Kathy Wood bought 4 million shares yesterday. Yesterday, my thesis with the markets go the way the NASDAQ goes stated if Apple. Well, most of the time the markets does what the NASDAQ does. Where's Apple at? Anyway, let's take a look at Apple. So there's Express. Here's the Q on the right. Here's Apple. Apple down to 170s. It's still not cheap enough to really make me want to buy it, though. Like, look, Apple is up so much right now. So about 57% of people think, no, the market is not going to bounce back today. Yeah, I think if you try to copy Cathie Wood, you might be in trouble. I think the reality of it is Cathie Wood's willing to hold these long term if she needs to, and I think you got to do the same. Yeah, the big earnings report today, though, guys, is NVIDIA. NVIDIA drops their earnings today. We are going to stream it. So NVIDIA drops their earnings today. Currently, it's at 304.20s. 304.20s. So Fed minutes too. Yeah, so we got the Fed minutes report. We got NVIDIA earnings. So we got NVIDIA. We got the Fed minutes report. We have tomorrow we have GDP data and jobless claims numbers. Friday we have PCE data. So very busy week moving forward. We got a lot of busy stuff. In a slow couple days, it's a pretty busy week. Hey, what's up, Braz? Yeah, you as well, bro. You as well, man. Hope you have a good day too. Yeah, what do y'all think about NVIDIA earnings here? But again, look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA finally pulling back. It's still very high up there, though. Like, look at NVIDIA over the last 4 or 5 months here, man. NVIDIA's just been on a huge tear. Like, there's a ridiculous move for NVIDIA. Just a ridiculous move, man. NVIDIA's just flown. All right, guys. SPY up to 413s. So let's see if the market bounces back. I tend to think the market will. I think this is a big pullback in markets, guys. This is a big pullback, man. This is not a small pullback by any means. This is a large pullback here. So I tend to think the market is going to bounce back, but who knows, man. NVIDIA has a gap to fill, 319 post earnings. Yeah, but NVIDIA's up so much. Hey, what's up, Chris? The poster child for overpriced as the market sits. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It's a tough buy, man. Microsoft, too. Like, Microsoft's up a lot here. Wait, here comes Kohl's in 5 minutes. Y'all remind me if I start to forget it. Kohl's comes out in 5 minutes. Wait, Kohl's might be out already. Look at Kohl's gap here. So this might be from them dropping already here. Let me check to be sure. But Kohl's is gapping up already here. Let's see what they look like now. No, Kohl's isn't. No, the Kohl's numbers aren't out yet. Is there a Yellen speech today? I mean, here's a trade idea. This is a trade idea. I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, so as always, I might be wildly wrong about what I'm about to say because there's always outliers to the market and you never know for sure. All right, there's always outliers in the market. You never know for sure. But I think one thing that might be interesting to look at is that the U.S. has never defaulted in years. And so, and maybe hedging a trade like this might be a smart move. But the U.S. has never defaulted, right? This has happened where they have gotten close to it a total of 78 times prior to this. They've gotten close to this. Now, so I think in probability terms, the probabilities are pretty high we're not going to default, right? I think the probabilities are pretty high. We are going to get it done, get the deal done, and get the debt ceiling talks over with and finish that. I think the probabilities are pretty high in that regard. I couldn't imagine that the market reacts negatively to that news. The question, though, is just how much does this dip ahead of that, right? So if you're assuming that they get the talks done and everything is done before June 1st, the question is, when do they get it done? If they get it done, of course, is a big one too. But when they get it done, if they do, and if we're extended enough on the downside, there might be an argument for like buying a pullback, waiting for the announcement of the deal being done, the default risk being over, and riding a bounce back in the markets. Again, I might be wildly wrong here, because the risk of this is simple. Is that, maybe you could hedge it with like gold, or you could hedge it with like put options or something. But the risk is simple. If they do default, if they don't get it done, the market's going to tank, and so there's that, especially. So yeah, for sure, Mark. I'm pretty sure they're going to get it done. But again, the risk is if they do, for whatever reason, not get it done. If they don't get it done, the risk is obvious. Where you buy up stuff, you could be in for a rough, day if something very outside the realm of, probabilities happens. Yeah, there's mortgage news. So we got the mortgage rate coming out today. Is what it is. We'll cover it. We got the 30-year MBA mortgage rate data coming out. So last time the 30-year percentage came in at 6.57%, 6.57%, which was up a little bit from the previous time. We also have some other stuff like we got Yellen speaking at 10 a.m. today. All right, guys. So there's 7 o'clock here. Let's see what the Kohl's number showed up as. Again, we also have the mortgage data coming out. So the mortgage rates, Kohl's showed first quarter EPS of 13 cents, 13-cent EPS for Kohl's versus 44-cent loss expected. So Kohl's will probably shoot up from this. Yeah. So again, they expected 44-cent loss on $3.34 billion in sales. They ended up showing 13-cent profit on $3.57 billion. So better than expected sales, better than expected EPS for Kohl's. They beat on both metrics, and Kohl's is loving it. They're up to 20.3s right now. Kohl's is popping up. We also have the mortgage rate data coming out today. Mortgages came in at 6.69%. So mortgage rate went up week to week. It went up from 6.57% for the 30-year mortgage rate to 6.69%. So it went up. It went up a little bit from 6.57 to 6.69% for a 30-year mortgage rate. Kohl's is loving this, man. Look at this, $21 a share right now for Kohl's. Big pop up for Kohl's. They beat on both metrics. We'll put these numbers up on screen so you can see it. But yeah, they beat on both, and they are rising very quickly. Who knows if it'll hold, but yeah. Palantir moving up a little bit too. Yeah, here's the 30-year mortgage rate. Amazon running on AI news. Good. Here is the Kohl's data right here, guys. So here's Kohl's. Much better than expected there. And look at Kohl's rip. 2130s here for Kohl's. Huge pop. Is Amazon running? AI, man. So Meta loses another European lawsuit shortly after a hefty penalty for data privacy breach. I don't see the Amazon news, though. So we did have analog devices drop theirs. They beat EPS, beat sales slightly. The HSBC CFO says that they are reviewing their local presence in circa 12 markets, could keep or sell businesses depending on the outcomes. Hey, what's up, Steve? The FOMC minutes report is going to go live at 2 p.m. We're going to stream it live, Rita. So subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll go live when it happens. What do you think the market is going to do today? I really have no idea. Again, you guys know me. I might make short-term predictions and stuff, but I really have no idea what the market's going to do today. I hope it goes up, but who knows? I think it depends on a lot of different factors, so nobody really knows. My TT account's growing pretty nicely here, man. We've been getting certainly an increase of views. It's beginner trading. No space, no cap, anything, beginner trading. Give your boy a follow there. Dude, people getting caught using solvers in poker. Honestly, bro, kick them out, man. They should be banned. Like, the whole point of poker is to memorize this stuff. Like, you should memorize. You should be memorizing what bets you should make at any point in time in poker. Not using solvers at the tables. That's ridiculous. I mean, people use them at home, but the average CEO is paid 351 times as much as a typical worker in their industry. All right, guys. Amazon up there at 115.70s here. So Amazon is popping up some. SPY moving up a little bit, testing that 413 level. No cap. Oh, bro, I got a 13-year-old daughter, dude. I know all these phrases, bro. No cap, cap, no cap. We could use both here, man. But no. Riz. How's his Riz? I know all the phrases. Hold on, let me start a short that'll make the market moon. All right, guys. Cole's popping up. Amazon's still moving up. We got NVIDIA earnings today. We got the FOMC minutes report. All going live today. This all should influence sentiment for sure and make the market move. Yeah, bro. I know all the slang, the cool slang nowadays. Mid, This move up on Coles is mid, I know all of it, guys. Listen. You talk about the real estate market, Pawn? Yeah, I mean, as a real estate agent, it's not bad. Like, it's not like the market's bad. It's just down from where it was, and I think what happened right now is we're kind of in this hangover period where a year ago, a year and a half ago, the market was freaking crazy. Anybody buying a house would have to compete with multiple offers over list price a lot of the time. They would have to waive the appraisal. So basically not even get an appraisal and then pay the difference. If the appraisal came in low or whatever, pay the difference. If the bank wanted to do it, pay cash or whatever. The market was just insanely, pumped up. Like crazy big, people were waiving appraisals, doing all this crazy stuff. And again, when interest rates are that low, it's understandable. Like if interest rates are 3.5%, which is very conventionally low, then it's understandable that the market's hot. Now that interest rates are up, interest rates are not even conventionally high right now, though. So like they're about normal. This is about average over the last 50 years in terms of interest rates. In the 80s, they were much higher. So the interest rates right now, like the 6.5 to 7% interest rate, is not conventionally high. The problem is that over the last 15 years to 20 years, everybody got really used to super low interest rates at 3.5% or whatever it was, and 3%, sometimes lower than that. And so everybody kind of got used to this very low interest rate market. And so now that we basically doubled from where we were, people think the interest rates are so high and they're crazy high when they're really not. Like if you look back conventionally, it's pretty average. Like a 7% interest rate is not conventionally super high. It's pretty average. The difference, though, is that everybody's kind of used to really low rates over the last 20 years, the last couple of decades, as well as the fact that like the market was crazy, so sellers got really, really spoiled over the last 5 years of crazy real estate pump. And at this point, the market's still pretty, I mean, there's a lot of buyers out there, but it's certainly not like people aren't waiving appraisals as much anymore. They're not, the market's not as hot as it was, even though it's not necessarily slow. But again, sellers are kind of spoiled. So sellers think like that they're going to just be able to sell it for whatever and make whatever. But the market's not really that hot anymore. I mean, it's still selling. It's not like it's a slow real estate market. But yeah. Yeah, FOMC minutes report at 2 p.m. today. Yep. Yeah, mid. My daughter used that one a lot. I'm assuming they got mid from mid-grade, which my daughter doesn't want to know where that word came from. Kids think they're cool. They're really not, Yeah, 12% in the late 70s. Yeah, it was crazy. Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's down a lot, but... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, kids nowadays, the funny thing about them is that they think that everything they're doing now is unique, Like my daughter tried to tell me that
that the style nowadays, like the dress style, is unique to their modern age. And I try to tell you, I was like, look, I grew up in the 90s. What y'all are doing right now is a carbon copy of the 90s. Baggy cargo pants, Jinkos, um, bowl cuts, parted down the middle, hair parted down the middle. Y'all like all the young people nowadays look like freaking Dawson's Creek. They look like Boy Meets World, you know. But for whatever reason, they think they're just different, It's like, all right. Put on some Boy Meets World. Let's watch that. Tell me how different you are now. But no, KSS up to 2130s here, guys. It gets KSS had great earnings. Tesla cracking under lows again. SPY breaking lows again, testing it now as well. We can see it at 412.60s. Yeah, Tesla. Here's Tesla on the right. Cracking lows and then bouncing back up a little bit. We'll see if it holds. Well, yeah, the prices were lower, but I mean, the prices go up over time no matter what. Of course, they were lower back in the 80s. Of course, that's true. I mean, everything was lower back then, Prices were lower in the 30s than they were in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like, we could keep going back. Prices were lower in the 1880s than they were in the 1930s. You know what I mean? You keep rolling back 50 years, prices are going to go down. But I understand what you're saying in terms of like whether we should keep up with inflation. If our money kept up with inflation, then then we'd be in a much more different situation. If the minimum wage kept up with inflation, we'd be in a much different situation now. That's the real problem, is that wages didn't go up. It's why you got to diversify and hedge and inflation hedging assets like gold, S&P 500, real estate. They'll all hedge against inflation. Yeah, for sure, AJ. Oh, the Wonder Years, bro. What a great show. It's been so long since I've seen it, dude. That was like one of my first shows. You remember Nick at Night used to play some of these shows, and I used to love them. I remember watching like I Love Lucy and Happy Days on Nick at Night as a kid. Yeah, 2012, the interest rates were super low. All right, coal's ramping up. Tesla's still breaking down now. All right, so if you look at the average interest rate, guys, from 1971 until 2023, the average interest rate is 7.74%. So it's actually higher. We are actually below average right now in terms of interest rates relative to average from 71 to 23. Right? So again, we are lower right now at 6.7% than we were than average. We're lower than average right now for interest rates. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, interest rates are actually pretty neutral right now. They're not super high, but people are kind of spoiled because the last 15, 20 years, it's been pretty consistently under 5%. So everybody thinks that now being at 7% or whatever, 6.5 to 7%. Now everybody thinks it's really high, but what it really is they're just not used to, they're used to really low rates. I'm still in Disney, but again, what I did was I ended up taking most of my profit off of Disney at the 94s. So if you look at this trade for Disney here, and I'm still in it, but it's a much smaller size. So yeah, so look, so you can kind of see. I'll show you this. But yeah, you can kind of see we ended up cutting most of our Disney trade off, about 250 shares of it off. So we cut a majority of it off at 290 or at 93.83. So 93.83, we got out of 250 shares of Disney. And so we're still in a little piece right now, but it's small and we're not down much. And so I'll probably just let this sit and wait. at this point in time. Like we already wrote it up, took profit. Now we're kind of sitting on the drop, and I'll probably just kind of sit back and wait now. At this point, I just want my money back and never touch stocks. I mean, Raphael, you're playing it too short term, though, brother. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, of course. Like I always say, I have no idea what's going to happen with anything, man. But, like, again, as I always say, like, my trades can or might be long term investments. You can't buy a stock, in my opinion, like Disney, which is going to be volatile short term, of course. You can't buy a stock and then in 2 weeks, when it drops some, get emotional about it and say I'm never touching stocks again. Like that's way too early of a time frame, man. You got to zoom out. Again, in my opinion, Disney's going to be fine long term, but like short term, there's always fluctuations. There's always going to be bearish or good or bad action short term. You never know, but you got to understand that this is not a trade, man. This is an investment. Like this is a long term swing trade. Maybe if you're planning on holding it for 6 months, you could call it that too, probably. But it's not a trade. Like this is not a short-term trade. It's not meant to be. It was never meant to be for me. Now, if it goes in my favor like it did, bouncing up to 94s, I'll take some off. But until then, I'll just let it sit. It's just part of my portfolio. Yeah, so 7% is about 35K. But what does that have anything to do with what we're talking about, I guess? Yeah, for sure. Exactly, Violet. Like, there's just less people trading right now. There's just less people trading, less people doing stuff. Again, it is summertime. People are at the beach. Hedge fund traders are at the beach. Like, they're on vacation. They're visiting with their family. Their kids aren't in school anymore, so they don't really have peace in the mornings now. And as a parent, I understand that more than anybody. So because of that, liquidity usually goes down a little bit. Volume goes down during the summertime, and it heats back up. The busiest months of stock market activity are October, November, December, January. So those 4 months are the busiest months of stock market activity. The slowest months are probably the next 3. I think September, Yeah, September's slowest. Yeah, that makes sense. In Tesla, there are 5% changes a day. In Disney, too, big company, very volatile. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you got to understand. Like, again, I'm not telling you what to do, Raphael. I have no idea what Disney will do, right? And I think it's always good to diversify into whatever you're taking. But again, what I usually do is I sit on it long enough to where I can let it work. If you look at anything short term, again, here's the reality of it, right? Disney's dropping because the market is dropping right now. If the market wasn't dropping and Disney was doing this, I think it would be a worse sign. But the market's dropping with it, So by that logic, you just kind of got to sit and wait. Again, I'm sitting and waiting. I'm not telling you what to do. You can do whatever you want. But for me, I'm waiting. People in the 90s were like, I'm straight edge, I'm God. People are always trying to feel special. Yeah. I think Disney's oversold too, bro. But I mean, you got to give it time, though. It might drop more short term. We don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think I always try to tell people, like, I have tattoos and, like, I've had piercings, and my wife does too. Like, my wife has tattoos. She's had piercings. Like, I'm not judging anybody that does that. Do what you want to do. All I'll say is that everybody cares about what they look like, My issue is when people who have spent all this money on, like, body art, they say, oh, I don't care what people think. It's like, yeah, you do. Everybody cares what people think, If you didn't care what people think, you wouldn't have any of that, Like, I care what people think. I might get some new tattoos sometime soon. I actually want to fix this one up, But still, point is, everybody cares. That's what I tell my daughter. I was like, look, you can care about what people think. That's okay. Everybody does, What it really is based around is biological instincts, Like if women liked pink bunny suits, men would dress up in pink bunny suits, 100%. When I was 20, if like the cool thing that women really loved pink bunny suits and would get with you if you wore pink bunny suits, bro, I'd be pink bunny suiting it up in the 90s and 2000s, you know? So, I mean, it's all based off of biology, I guess. Yeah, for sure. I would love that pawn, you know? Tesla. I don't think it's goth kids that hang out at Denny's or IHOP. I think everybody hangs out at Denny's or IHOP after a night out. You know, Waffle House is my favorite. It's like you go to the club or you go to the bars, and then you finish it. They do last call, and then everybody goes to Waffle House and eats waffles. It's pretty standard, not just with those crowds, but pretty universally, I think. Hey, nice island time. Congrats, man. Is the market going up today? I don't know, Kyle. It might. It might not. I don't know, man. Harry, I'm going to talk about whatever I want. You'll get banned if you keep crying about it, man. GCT, Martin? Let me see. Yeah, I mean, it's a penny stock. It had really low liquidity prior to today, too. So it's up to 7s. We'll see what happens. But Apple's down, but it's still up so much. Same thing with Nvidia. Same thing with Microsoft. Google finally pulling back down, but it's up a lot as well. It's been very strong. Hey, what's up, DC? Nah, nerds run the world, John. People can call me a nerd. People call me nerd my whole life. Now most of the people calling me nerds are struggling. And there's a very famous quote. It's something like, you know, nerds are going to be your boss or something. I don't know what it says, but somebody in chat will put it out there. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's certainly your right to say that, Harry, but it's also my right to ban you in my own YouTube channel. You know what I mean? People cry free speech, but it's like, bro, these are private companies. You know, they can do whatever they want. You've got the right to say whatever you want to say. I've got the right to react however I want to react. Freedom, sir. Oh yeah, no, all good, John. No, absolutely. I wouldn't say they're nerds. I say they're just kind of, they don't have much to do, you know. Hey, what's up, trader? We chop around for a bit. Yeah, market's down a lot. Again, will the market break lows? I think is the next question. You can see the SPY. It's at 412.60s. Yeah, I mean, whatever they want to do with their time, Bob. You know, like seriously, whatever they want to do with their time. Yeah, that's right. That's the quote. Be nice to a nerd because one day you'll work for one. Yeah, that's the quote. Yeah, well, some of them do. Some of them buy back. I think some of them truly believe. I think other ones are just, I don't know. Will Moderna continue the run? Has Moderna been running? It has, man. Moderna's strong when the rest of the market is weak. On what news, though? What's the justification for it running up? Yeah, right. Honestly, I do take it as a compliment, to be honest. And I really am a nerd. Y'all want to know how nerdy I am? When I was young. So I'll tell you how nerdy I am. When I was about 11, right? The Star Wars prequels were just about to be announced, but I downloaded them illegally on LimeWire, I think, and watched all the or at least watched the first Star Wars prequel before it was even in theaters. And so whatever movie theater did it sent my dad a cease and desist letter because apparently I was downloading the Star Wars movies and somehow sharing them with everybody. Because like I used to download those. I used to download Pokemon and Zelda ROMs and emulators on my PC at the time. And so I had like a Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask walkthrough website at like 11. So yeah, I'm a huge nerd. And I might have recently played all the way through the Pokemon Blue. I think it was Blue. ROM on my phone. I might have. I'm not saying I did, but I could have. Oh yeah, those were the good days, man. I remember that. Back when the internet was not good. You know, the internet was not good at all. Oh yeah, there was always some sketchy stuff on the download for sure. Hey, what's up, Ed? Hey, good morning, man. What's my favorite? My birthday's no time soon. You know that, right? Life Wisdom says happy early birthday, John. I mean, my birthday, I'll tell you this, it's not this year. You know. So I appreciate it. So I guess the better way would be a happy late birthday. I'm never gonna tell anybody my b-day, but you know. My favorite Zelda game, probably Ocarina of Time, with Majora's Mask coming in a close second. We had ferrets here. They were named Zelda, Ganon, and Link, you know. But Ganon really was a jerk, bro. You know, I don't know if it's the law of attraction where we named him Ganon and then he started acting like Ganon, because Ganon would steal all Zelda's food. He would steal her food. He was like huge by the end of the day. He was like big. And Zelda was like a little baby and he would just steal all her food, you know. But the problem with that is that Link would steal her food too, you know. And so it became a problem, bro. Before we knew it, within like a month, Ganon was just huge. He was just swole ferret. And we had to separate him, you know. Yeah, I'm going to keep it private. I'm over 30. I'll tell you that, Raz. No, I didn't see the new Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, SPY consolidating right at these lows here. So the SPY is right at the lows. Kohl's had great earnings, ripped up Tesla at 183s right now, 183s. mRNA still pumping up. It's at 140s right now. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell y'all my birthday, man. Y'all are, you know, no offense. I'm not telling y'all my birthday. You know. What are we playing? Let's Hack John today? Like, y'all get out of here, man. Y'all think I'm just gonna be like, yeah, guys, you know, here you go. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you got it, Michael. It's January. That's right, man. You got it. Good job. Oil will skyrocket this summer. They're trying to keep it on yeah. Oil, I don't know, man. Exxon. Let's look at how Exxon has responded to all this. So here's Exxon. Exxon actually had a pretty good day yesterday, despite weakness in the rest of the market. So there's not a meeting today, Womble, but there is a Fed Minutes report that goes live today. We'll stream the whole thing. All you got to do is subscribe and hit the notification bell. We will stream the entire thing live right here. So we'll stream the whole thing live. You'll be able to watch the whole thing. Yeah. All right, guys. SPY been in a very obvious channel here. Tesla pop it back up a little bit. Again, we got Apple here on the left side. Apple break it down, but it's still up a ton over the last few months that I'm still a little bit skeptical to buy this up right now. Yeah, I do like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but all right, looking at our poll numbers here, we got a poll. 47% say yes. 54% say no, the market's not going to rebound. Do y'all think it bounces back here? Again, does the market pop back up today, guys? I don't know. Let's see if it continues here. What's AMC doing right now, too?
All right, guys. Luckily, we got out of Tesla. I could add some more to PayPal, but I think I'm just going to sit. Apple at big level. It could pop back up. I think the chances are like 20% or something like that, Sam, because I think like one of the things, you know, a normal person might guess that like it's somewhere around 1%. You know what I mean? Since there's 365 days in a year and 355 is close to that. So it'd be a normal person might guess it's somewhere around 1%. But the difference is that human behavior is more so predictable and grouped up together, right? So a lot of the times people have babies around the same time. So I think because of that, it's much higher than people expect in that regard, you know? Or maybe it's the opposite. I don't know. Or no, my math is way off. Wait, 335. So yeah, you think the chances were like really high then that you share a birthday with somebody. Yeah, 365. Yeah, that's what I assumed you meant. Well, you'd think it'd be pretty high up in percentages. What is it? What are the odds in that case? SoFi good, but not a mega cap. Mega caps are running right now. Mega caps are not running. Apple down. Tesla down. SPY down. Q down. What are the rate hike percentages here? Let's take a look. So yeah, 25 basis point rate hike is getting a little bit higher up there. Right now, it's only about 68% thinking that we're going to pause. 32% think we're going to raise. I think we'll probably raise, but who knows? This one we could pause. Yeah, I mean, I still think they're objectively high from where they were. I think a lot of them are still up big. Yeah, I think a pause could happen. I mean, I think most people are expecting a pause, and generally, I go with what the banks expect. You know, so like generally, I go with what the banks expect. Compared to October, yeah, I mean, I think the debt ceiling talks and again, the potential for a rate hike is causing weakness. Indexes are down, Detra. I mean, bro, look at the indexes, man. I mean, if we're talking about overnight, and I'm talking about yesterday too. Again, SPY dropped from 418s to 413 overnight. The Q is dropping from 330s to 333 to 332 overnight. Dropped basically from 335s down to 332s yesterday. Tesla down from 190 basically down to 183s. Apple down from 175s to 170s here. So a lot of stuff is down. A lot of mega caps are down. Do we pause, guys? I guess is a big question. Do we pause? I don't know.
Well, FOMC minutes give indication of what their plans are. So if you guys don't know what the FOMC minutes is, so the FOMC minutes is a PDF file or HTML file that goes live right at 2 p.m. on the dot that specifies why the Fed chose to make the last rate hike decision they did, as well as gives some potential foresight into what the Fed might do moving forward. That's why the minutes report is important, especially in this week where we got debt ceiling fears. We've got just a lot of stuff going on. That's why today is important, because we got the Fed minutes report. We also have NVIDIA earnings for tech, and tech has been really weak over the last 24 hours. And so, yeah. If we get more banking weakness, a definite pause. But aren't banks looking strong? Like PACW here, still very strong over the last 10 days. Here's a 10-day chart for PACW. So while it dropped down to 4, it's already bounced back up to 8. So it's up about 100% since last Thursday. The other bank that we can look at, PACW WAL, Western Alliance, it is up a lot as well. It's gapping up from about 24s to 37s here for WAL. So banks have been really strong over the last 10 days or so here. So again, I'm not saying they don't continue, but they have been strong. Yeah, all good, lazy. No, I didn't see that one, Jay. How'd it end? What happened? I bet KS before July 15 bonds have had an inverted curve for too long with too many hikes. Yeah, we'll see, man. Again, I think most people are expecting a pause. I think they'll get the debt thing done, though. That's what's causing the market drop. So again, there might be an argument for like a dip buy and then riding a bounce back up. You know what I mean? If I think there might be an argument for like we got weakness now. Once they announce that the debt ceiling stuff is finished and that we got a deal done and we don't have to worry about that, I think we might get a pump up in markets. Maybe not, though. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, exactly. Florida, he said banks are stabilizing, which can give reason for another 25 basis point. Yeah, I mean, that's the only argument I think there is for a more 25 basis point rate hike, another 25 basis point hike. I think that banks are strong. I think if banks were really weak and like the market was really weak, and while we did get pullbacks in the market here, so while we did get pullbacks, the market is still pretty strong over, like if we look at a daily chart, for instance here, the market's green on the year here, guys. So again, 12 weeks ago or 52 weeks ago, we were at 393s right now. SPY currently is at 414, even after the big drop yesterday. And so, if we look at the last, month, right? So here's the last month. A month ago, we were at 406 on the SPY. Today, we're at 415. So it's still been a pretty strong 30 days of market activity here. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to continue to get that, but it's been a pretty strong 30 days here. Now, and so in that regard, I think if the market was really weak and banks were really weak, I think that would certainly confirm no rate hike. And I think at this point, analysts, and it's still a little premature to bet on, because I think that sometimes they put in, they analyze it a little bit more closer to the rate hike decision, which is going to be early June. So we still got to cut like 2.5 weeks until the next rate hike decision. But right now, analysts are expecting a pause. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to get one. Again, arguments against the pause are that banks are pretty resilient and strong. WAL is ripping up. PACW is ripping up here. So we have strength in banks. But, I think the last day has shown weakness in markets. And I think another really important influential thing regarding the next rate hike decision is going to be, we have GDP coming out Thursday. So Thursday, we got jobless claims. So tomorrow we have GDP coming out. That's a big influence over whether the Fed raises rates. GDP is ingrained into the technical definition of a recession. The technical definition is 2 consecutive losing GDP quarters. And so what GDP shows up as tomorrow will influence what the Fed's decision there is, and that will influence the probabilities, what the banks bet on, and all that stuff. So that's important. And then we also have the PCE, core PCE index Friday, which is a very big economic release as well. If you don't know, like what the Fed uses to gauge inflation is PCE. So the PCE deflator, the core PCE price index, it's the personal consumption expenditure index. It tells you basically what our personal consumption in terms of pricing is. And the Fed has come out many times and said that that is their preferred inflationary gauge. So Friday is big too. So today we got FOMC minutes report, might influence markets. We've got NVIDIA earnings after that. Tomorrow we've got jobless claims, and we have GDP data coming out tomorrow morning, and we will stream it live. We will stream all of this live. Again, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. And then Friday, we've got the core PCE index, which is what the Fed uses to gauge inflation. And so all of that stuff for the rest of this week is pretty big in terms of market interest. It's also big in relevancy for the next rate hike decision. And again, we'll see. But yeah. A 50% drop in everything. I don't know, man. I've heard people doom and gloom it for the last couple years, and we haven't really gotten anything like that, you know. So Fed has no mandate regarding GDP. Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying they are. I'm saying in terms of like recession fears, GDP is relevant. You know, so like they're going to look at PCE more than anything, but for recession fears, which do play off of, you know, inflation and rate hike decisions, you know, if the market's more so fearing a recession and the banks are struggling, you know, the Fed is going to be less likely to raise rates. If the market is fearing inflation, which they have been, and inflation's running up and recession fears are low, then the Fed's more likely to raise rates, I think. People paying $1,000 a month for car payments. Yeah, you know how it goes. People want to look rich without actually being rich, you know. All right, SPY consolidating, starting to bounce up a little bit. Tesla at 183.20s here, 183.20s. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's relevant at all, John. I think that that's just your own personal, you know, views on that, man. Florida, 73 people in the room. Wow. With 73 people in the room, the chance of you sharing a birthday with someone is 99.97%. Well, it's certainly human behavior related, Sam. What I'm saying is I'm not saying that they cherry picked people within the same behaviors. What I'm saying is that people generally act the same. You know, people act in a universal way, where a lot of the time what you'll see is like the baby boomers, for instance, right? That's a prime example of this, where a lot of the time people have babies at the same time as others, right? Because they're all based off of human behavior, right? So like what was the human behavior for the baby boomer generation? The human behavior was that all the GIs got back from the war, and you know, now that they were home safe, they had a bunch of babies, you know. And so in that regard, what I'm saying is that human behavior is predictable, and that generally the time where people have the most babies are during the summer, I think. And I think the reason for that is because in the winter months, everybody's inside, everybody's at home, and they're more likely to, you know, do the deed in that regard. And so I guess what I'm saying is that type of those birthdays grouped up a lot. There's certainly months where much less people have babies, and certainly months where much more people have babies, and it's all correlated to stuff like that.
Uh, all right, NQ. So you think the NQ? Yeah, man, the NQ is not going to hit 2 or 3,000, man. I mean, that's just a fantasy of bears, you know. Uh, the NQ, for instance, which is the Nasdaq, is at about 14,000 right now. You know, I had somebody in here saying that they thought the SPY was going to go down 80%. You know, so they were basically saying the SPY was going to hit $84. And again, these are just way outside the realm of. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible, but we'd have to be in a lot of trouble if that happened. And I think, you know, I think you got a lot of like YouTubers pushing this doomsday scenario, and a lot of people are getting wrapped up in it. But I think the long term edge in markets is that it generally goes up. You know. Yeah, for sure, Sam. That's shocking. Yeah. No, I agree with you, Sam. I think it's interesting. Amazon flying up. Yeah, I mean it's moving up. Here's Amazon on the left side here. Breaking highs. It's moving up. Maybe that'll drag the market up. The market kind of needs this, to be honest. Yeah, so again, SPY's still consolidating, but Amazon does look very strong. See if it continues, man. Again, I'm for it. I hope it bounces back. Again, today we got NVIDIA earnings. We got the Fed minutes report. We got a bunch of stuff coming out. Yeah, hopefully we have a green day. Do you think the recession was already priced in October 22? So last year when we get the lows in the SPY? Maybe. I don't know. How do you feel about Pfizer? I usually stay away from pharmaceutical companies. I just don't like the risk personally. Yeah, I mean that makes sense that humans are built into as a defense mechanism to pay more attention to bad news than good news. You know, I hope not too many people get stuck in it, because like what happens a lot of the time is that again it's human nature to pay attention to fears more than optimism. Um, Sometimes optimism is even criticized, especially in the stock market, you know. But I think like when you zoom out and you look at long-term statistics of markets, long-term the S&P is going to go up, you know. And so the biggest long-term edge you get is that the S&P 500 will give you on average 6 to 12% a year, and that includes crashes. So that includes crashes that happen in between that. And I've said this many times over the last couple of weeks, and I'll say it again. So what that means is that if the market's giving you 6 to 12% on average yearly, and that includes times when the market is crashing, then times when the market is not crashing are going to give you more than 6 to 12%. So like a normal good year in the SPY might give you 20% or more than that to kind of even out that crash pull down in the, you know, stats, if that makes sense. So, you know, again, I've seen people that have come here every single day talking about how the market is weak and the market's going to crash, and they've been doing this for years and years and years, and the market's just kind of, you know, again, my look at the market is on a longer term basis here. Like if you look at the SPY, you know, SPY is kind of green over the last year finally, but the market is still down from like the highs at 2022. So, you know, a lot of the bears will act like the market is just so extended on the upside and that it's so wrong that the market's not pulling back.
but the market's not like breaking highs or anything like that. It's still a pretty good distance like away from highs, you know. So like the lifetime highs are right around 480 on the SPY. We're still pretty far away from that, and on a longer term view, the market is down over the last 2 years. So I don't think it's going to go down forever. I think eventually the market's going to come back. The market's going to bounce back eventually, and thinking the market's always going to crash is going to make people miss out on long-term edge and on the upside. But of course, we could crash. I really don't know, man. Maybe the market crashes. Maybe the market drops. I might just be wildly wrong there. I just don't think doom and glooming it is necessarily the healthiest for long-term results. You know, I think it clouds people's judgment too much. Yeah, definitely top 3. Fed minutes report comes out at 2 p.m. Yeah, so Fed minutes report comes out at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is basically what it is. It's a PDF file that goes live right at 2 p.m. And what it does is it details, it puts out in a little bit more detail why the Fed chose to make the decision that they did in the last rate hike decision. So this is going to go back to when was the last rate hike? It's early this month, right? So this is going to go back to early May and explain why they chose to make the decision that they did, you know. Yeah, and again, we'll see what happens with the market, man. Amazon flying up today, which is interesting, you know, very interesting. We'll see if it continues its move up. But yeah, we'll see if it continues its move up. Hey, buddy. Probably. Talk to your mom about it, but probably, bud. I know you don't have too much going on, but
No, there was literally no classes. There's no real class.
sorry. So my son's almost yeah, he wants to stay home, man. He wants to I mean, his school's not really doing anything. He's already graduated, you know. So we might let him. I mean, we talked to his teacher yesterday, and they said that it was fine if we did. That it's our decision. A lot of people already left to go on vacation. Were you ever considering only letting channel members use the chat? No, we were never going to. We were never gonna, you know. Again, my big thing is free, you know. So like, I'm not gonna make anybody pay for anything. Like I want to, like we have sponsors and stuff, and those are optional. But like, there's never gonna be paywalls behind any of my content. You know what I mean? So like, we're all the content's gonna be free always. And so we're just not going to have any paywalls. Which YouTubers going to ESPN? All right, look at Amazon break highs again here. Yeah. Yeah, the debt ceiling talks are still there. We went over some news earlier about it. So yeah, we went over some news earlier. Still in limbo right now. So Agilent falls on annual forecast. PacWest gains. Mid-cap futures down. So yeah, markets are down today on the debt ceiling talks. They said, quote, the odds of a deal. So economist, CFO, or chief financial economist Jeffrey said, quote, odds of a deal by the end of this week or early next week are looking good, but it's politics, so accidents can happen. So chances are pretty high that they're going to do it, you know, but we'll see. We'll have to wait. So the FOMC minutes report is today, Liam. So what that is, so every 6 weeks, the Fed meets to discuss how much they want to raise or lower rates, depending on how bad inflation is. If inflation is bad, they'll raise rates. What raising rates does is it makes it more expensive to get loans. You know, like the bank, it hurts the bank's margins, and so they raise interest rates so that they can compensate for it, and that affects everybody. So if inflation's bad, they raise rates aggressively. Inflation is less bad or not bad at all, they either pause or whatever. And that happens every 6 weeks. Now, weeks after that happens, they do what's called the Fed minutes report or the FOMC minutes report. And so it's just like a 12-page PDF file that details why they chose to make the decision that they did during the last Fed meeting. So like that's what the Fed minutes report is. It's just kind of a PDF file that goes live. What is there to the deal? Stop spinning. Yeah, I mean, there's never been a default on this in the history, though. So, like, there's never been a default in the history of it. And so I think it's pretty likely that it'll go through, but the fears are still here. Like, people are still stressed about it, you know, is what it is. So, like, the fears are still here. People are still stressed, you know. Stressla. How do you think the market's going to bounce back? I don't know. If they get it fixed, I could assume that the market's going to bounce back pretty fast. But, you know, like you never know. Again, you never really know what's going to happen there, and you just kind of got to wait and see. I mean, the odds of a default are very low, but, like, they're still there. It's not like they're zero. So, you know. It's not like they're zero, you know. It's not like they're just not going to happen. It's not like there's just no chance of it happening, but yeah. The butcher says U.S. defaulted 4x. Yeah, I mean, I doubt it. Yeah, I mean, let me know. Are y'all planning on buying up some blue chips? Let me know. I'm looking at some stuff again. Look at Amazon though. Amazon's pumping up right now. Again, SPY at 412s. Yeah, we'll see about June. People are thinking the debt ceiling would cause a bullish run. The market could heavily sell off. Yeah. I mean, you never know. The market is very contrarian in that regard. So, like, the market's very contrarian. And yeah, the SPY at 412.60s here. So market cracked lows and then kind of quickly bounced back a little bit. Google's up a ton over the last couple weeks here. So looking like Google has ramped up. You know, it's pulling back now, but it was up to like 127s. And again, Bard's pretty solid. You know, Bard's actually pretty good. Put to call ratio will be a good indicator. Yeah, that's always one that's people have been using a lot. If Friday PCE is bad and no deal, we are dumping, right? Yeah, so if PCE is high Friday, that's going to make people nervous for inflation problems, right? So if PCE comes in really high, let me look at what the expected number is. But like if PCE numbers come in high, it's not a great sign for sure. And PCE data comes in Friday. So PCE, the core PCE is the big one that you want to pay attention to, right? So the core PCE is the major one that's going to cause market reactions, depending on what it is. So core PCE for the month is expected to show up at 0.3%. 0.3%. So if we're higher than that, and this is kind of another inflationary gauge, if we're higher than 0.3%, theoretically the market should drop, but we don't know for sure. We don't know what the market's going to give us. We also have GDP data coming out, and they are expecting 1.1% for GDP data quarter over quarter. So 1.1% is the expectation tomorrow. Jobless claims are also coming out at 250 expectations here. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to pass it. Good morning. Might be a good time to buy blue chips on the dip. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you think about the. It depends on what you think about the debt ceiling talks. Like again, if you think it's going to get done, and you think, but the other nuance of this week is again GDP, PCE, Fed minutes report. We got Nvidia earnings this evening too. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna have to start getting a coffee maker in here so I can just kind of make my coffee in here. Hey, $84 is good, man. Yeah, GDP is a revision. It's not the full one, but PC is 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on Friday. And again, we will stream the entire thing. So we're going to stream the whole thing on Friday when it goes live. So it's at 8:30 Friday morning. It's a power gamble. No side wants to show. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it always goes. Have you tried coffee with hazelnut milk? No, but I like coffee. I like hazelnut though. So I do like hazelnut. And thank you, Florida. He said, John, I appreciate your platform as I do my due diligence for the day. I get to interact here. I get you earn decent bank for this, but well-deserved. Hats off to you. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, I think, there's been a lot of talk about guests and stuff like that. And again, we've had regular guests here where we kind of just diversify. We've had, Tony, we've had Joel, we've had Ben, we've had all these different guests, and they're great. But again, I'm just going to run this thing myself. I think I get to interact with the chat more when I don't have guests. And again, it really is something where the guests sometimes get like emotionally attached to it and start to kind of, but yeah, I like running it myself because it could be like today where I just kind of talk with the chat more, engage with the chat more. The chat, I think, probably likes a little bit better when it's just me here too. Hey, thank you, Mike. Yeah, thanks, man. He said, John, I appreciate your platform as I do my DD for the day. I get to interact here. I get it. You earn decent bang for this, but it's well deserved. Hats off to you. Hey, thanks, man. Hey, what's up, Benny? Lots of liquidity in stocks. Yeah, for sure. I mean, market's volatile. It's just down. Look at Amazon just rip over these highs. So Amazon just broke highs right now. It's up to 116.40. So a huge move here. A huge move. SPY following it up some. We're still down a lot. But again, I guess the argument is like, hey, is the market going to bounce back after the huge weakness that we faced yesterday? Yeah, for sure, Maximus. Thanks, man. No, I never tried it, new trader. I'm pretty simple though. I like just plain coffee. I don't like putting a bunch of stuff. Coffee is actually pretty healthy for you if you don't put a bunch of junk in it. So if you put a bunch of sugar in it, it's bad for you, obviously. And it's really bad because it's like the first thing you drink in the morning is like sugary coffee. It's just not good. I usually just keep mine plain because it's not bad if it's just plain. Just starting out, do you recommend futures? Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you want to day trade and you don't have a big account, the futures market's probably where you want to do it. But it varies. It really does. Like futures market, I'm sponsored by Top Step, and so I'm biased in their favor, of course. And so, yeah, I might be more likely to say, hey, yeah, try futures. But, it depends on what you're trying to do. Futures is good if you want to day trade, but you don't have that much equity. You can day trade futures. You can day trade the S&P 500. You can day trade currencies. You can day trade the NASDAQ in futures, and there's no PDT rule. You can day trade and short. And if you want to try to get funded, even if you have less equity and you want to try to get funded, Top Step has a 30% off sale. Again, I'll post this link. It's the first link I've posted all day, and we've been streaming for hours. So we'll post it. But again, they're a sponsor. I'm biased in their favor for sure. Yeah, coffee has much more. Yeah, honey's pretty good. Honey's really healthy. Like Manuka honey, really, really healthy. All right, guys. And again, SPY making moves. Amazon up to 116.40s here for Amazon. Tesla up to 183s. Nvidia, yeah, I have no idea. We'll see. Salt tea. How is it? Shah, is it good? Yeah, again, Brandy, just understand it's very difficult to pass those challenges. It's certainly not easy. So it's certainly not easy to pass. Love you. Hey, all right. Yeah, cinnamon's pretty good for you. Hey, bud. I love you, man.
Love you.
Have a good day at school, buddy.
Bye.
Bye-bye, bud. Yeah, NVIDIA earnings today. We'll see what happens for NVIDIA earnings. It should be fun. Amazon's still pumping up. Amazon's really what's dragging the market back here. We could look at like tech, but you can see Tesla start to rip back up. Amazon up to 116s here, so starting to really make moves. Again, we can look at tech. Here's the Q. Q is still looking weak, but starting to bounce back with Amazon. We can look at Apple. Apple kind of same thing, but yeah, Amazon's really what's dragging the market back. Hey, what's up, Guts? Hey, no worries, man. Happy to be here. Yeah, man, this is I cherish this community. I really do. It's really cool, man. I know like my normal streams, we don't get we get good views. Like I don't want to seem like 450 people here is chopped liver or anything, but like our big streams, like we're competing for the top in our big streams, like Jerome Powell press conferences, rate hike decisions, CPI, economic data streams, like we're competing with the top, and it's really fun. And I really value the community, and it kind of does show that if you truly look out for traders, people will appreciate it. One thing I always try to do is just kind of give people free data. I never sell a course. I don't act like an expert. I don't even, it really shows that you could be successful as a, personality in trading without selling a course or acting like an expert. And I think the market needs that. I think trading needs that. And so it's been really fun to see the community grow. This community's taken me 6 years to build, 6 years. And so it's really fun to see the community grow. Yeah, I certainly appreciate the love, guys. Yeah, maybe we see a bounce. I don't know. I think the market's down a lot. I could understand the bounce argument. What's up, Shepard? Yeah, SPY back over 413s. Tesla ripping back over that 200 EMA. I'm out of Tesla right now, so I did cut my Tesla trade yesterday because I was up so much. Like I cut it at like 191s or something like that. So I cut it. But yeah, we ended up getting out. We're still holding a couple of swings, but nothing super big. Yeah, so Brandy, it's a there's going to be a lot of people, Brandy, where you enter this market and they're going to try to sell you a course or a service or whatever it is. And again, we have sponsors too. What I'll try to say is like, it's not going to be worth it to spend thousands of dollars on a course. Like they're going to pander to your wants, like what you want to happen. So they're going to act like you can just get rich if you buy their course, right? Like that's how they sell you the course. They're going to be like, yeah, you can get rich. I could show you how to make $1,000 in 20 minutes, and they'll just pump you with that. Understand, no matter what course you buy, you could probably find the content for it available for free on the internet somewhere. So like most content for trading is publicly available for free on YouTube already. And a lot of the content in those courses you can find already on YouTube for free. And so paying thousands of dollars for a course is generally not worth it, in my opinion. The other thing you want to do is just trade small in the beginning. It's one of the reasons I think the funded account programs are so useful is because they allow you to trade small and have less risk. So it's like if you lose a funded account program, you're only down, like right now there's a sale, so you're down like 120 something if you use it. If you pass it though, moving forward, you keep 90% of your profit. And so, it just eliminates the risk that you take. It still gives you pressure, so you can learn how to trade under pressure, which is really what trading is about, but there's just less risk. And so I would just be very careful trading large. If you do put up the money yourself with your own account, just be careful because most new traders are going to lose, and it doesn't matter what course they take. It doesn't matter who they follow. A large majority of new traders are going to lose in the first at least couple months to a year because you have to condition yourself to do the correct things. It's like Pavlov and the dog, and I say it over and over again, but it's true, which is it really is a conditioning thing. So it doesn't matter what course you take. It's going to take time to learn how to be profitable, and it's not going to happen in the beginning. And so the larger you try to trade in the beginning, the more you try to copy your favorite guru and post big gains to Twitter or whatever it is and act like you're such an expert, the more money you're going to lose in the beginning. And so trade small is the best advice I can give a new trader. Trade small. Learn how to trade with small size. Do a funded account program if you need to. Again, the link is in the description if you want to check out Top Step. But trade small, guys. It's really important because almost all new traders lose money. And the larger you trade in the beginning, the more money you're going to lose. So I think I need to update the link in the description. But yeah, so just trade small. Best advice I can really give you. You can reset the let me make sure. Best advice I can give. Hey, thank you, Francis. I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, Oscar, it's not a scam, man. I mean, you got to look at it objectively, okay? People lose these funded account programs and then they just scream scam because they lost money, you know? But like, you got to think about it like this. Like Top Step will legitimately fund you, you know? Like, it's hard to get funded. It's not easy. Most day traders lose money. And so most day traders are going to lose these funded account programs too. And that's not Top Step's fault. Like, most traders just lose money, you know? But I'll tell you this, it's a lot cheaper to lose a funded account program than it is to put up 20K in futures yourself and lose thousands, which is what's going to happen a lot of the time if people put up the money themselves in futures. And so what these funded account programs allow you to do, and again, most people are going to fail. It's not easy to pass them, but it does build your skill. And you really got to think, like, some paper trading, you know, accounts are going to cost $100, right? And so this is much more than that, and it's basically, you know, 130 bucks. So again, most people are going to fail, and I am biased in their favor because they're a sponsor of mine, of course, and I always try to tell people that because but regardless of whether I'm sponsored or not by them, and I've tried not to plug them, like, you know, over the last 5 minutes because I don't want it to seem like I'm shilling, but I truly think that it's a lot cheaper to learn how to trade using a funded account program than it is to put up 15,000 yourself and risk that, because futures can go against you incredibly quickly. Most day traders trade futures anyway. And so it's a cheaper way to learn. And that's how you have to look at it. It's a challenge, and it's not an easy challenge, but you got to look at it and have reasonable expectations for it. You know, new traders who put up 150 bucks think they're just going to pass right away and ride off into the sunset making all this money. And it's not really like that. Like, trading's not like that. It's very difficult. It's not easy to do, and it takes time. Yeah, for sure, Tobias, 100%. Just have low expectations for your trading because most people are going to lose. I lost thousands in my first few weeks, you know. And you got to learn to lose. And one reason losing is necessary because it builds risk management. You know, and I could use myself as an example, and I've told this story a lot. When I first started trading, right, the first 3 weeks of my trading career, I lost like 4,000 or something like that, right? And I was distraught. I almost wanted to cry. $4,000 was a lot of money to me at the time. And you can see when I first started this channel, I uploaded about 10 videos of me day trading penny stocks mostly in an offshore brokerage that gave me crazy high leverage with super high commissions. And I thought I was good, you know, and then I ended up losing like 4K, like all of my account within, you know, a couple weeks. And I was distraught. I wanted to cry. You know, Carol had to console me. I didn't actually cry, but I definitely wanted to. You know, if Carol wasn't there, I might have cried. But I still remember losing that. And so what happens when you lose money is that you remember it. It burns, and you don't want to feel that burn again. And so you build risk management systems. You scale down your size. You have to learn risk management. And that's one of the more important aspects of trading is risk management. And, you know, if you've never lost big before, you're not really going to know how to do that. You're not really going to have the urge to do that. You're just going to be, hey, this is great. I'm going to ride off in the sunset rich. But most people lose, and you got to remember those losses because that's what will stop you from losing and risking big money in the future. No, the FOMC minutes happens at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, for sure. I still remember it. I still remember it in the beginning. I lost. I almost wanted to cry. I don't care about a minute. I was distraught. I was bummed, you know, because I had saved up that 4K and put it in my account. And I mean, and in hindsight, it was the best thing I could have done because that's what ultimately started beginner trading. Was I started it, and again, I noticed the niche. This was, you know, 6-7 years ago. You know, which is why it's funny where people come along and they want me to share beginner trading with them. It's like, bro, like, y'all have zero chance of getting me to do that. Like, I've built this thing for years, man. No chance. But anyways, and so it was for the best because at the time, you know, it's a long story, to be honest. It really is a long story. Like, what happened, it's a long story, you know. And if you want to know the story, so Carol has what's called the BRCA2 gene, the BRCA2 gene. And so when she was in her early 20s, she had to have a bilateral double mastectomy. And she's told me I could tell people this because she's told people this before too, right? So she had the cancer gene. So she didn't actually have cancer, but she had like a really high probability of getting it. And so, when she was in her early 20s, she had to get a bilateral double mastectomy. And technology's gotten really good where they're like nipple sparing and all that stuff now. And so it's a lot better than it used to be. But what I basically had to do was I had to be a stay-at-home dad and help take care of my kids. Because, when you get that, you can't really lift super well. You can't really lift up your kids. And the kids were young at the time. Or Maddie was young. My daughter was young at the time. And so she couldn't really lift, my daughter. So I had to basically be a stay-at-home dad. And while I did that, I had to figure out a way to make money, from home. And so I started a book business on Amazon. And I used to kind of go up to Goodwill and thrift shops and scan books, see how much they were worth, and then kind of flip them on Amazon. And I lived off of that for a while, and that's where I saved up the $4K. And then right at the end of her mastectomy, she became pregnant with my son, Jack, right? And she still had the expanders in, which is like a big stressful process. And like once that happened, that's when I kind of created beginner trading because I had to be home. And I was kind of working, flipping books on Amazon at the time. And so the $4,000 to me was like a lot of money, but in hindsight, it was the best thing that could have happened because if I would have never stayed home in that situation, I would have never started this channel, and I wouldn't be here talking to y'all right now. So it really did work out for the best, looking back on it. But it was kind of a stressful time. And $4,000 was a lot of money. And again, if I would have never lost that $4,000, I probably would, I don't know. But I just remember losing that money was necessary, because it builds risk management systems in your head. Like you don't want to feel that burn from losing money again. And so you kind of come back and trade smaller, you trade safer, if you will, but yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah. SPY bouncing back. So the SPY is now over, and this is a level I've been watching here. So the SPY is at 413s right now. 413s. Yeah, it's a crazy story. Honestly, it really is. Looking back on it, yeah, it's a crazy story for sure. But no, so look, the SPY over the VWAP here. So the SPY is over the volume weighted average price. And my kids ended up being completely like, we were worried at the time. But my son was born healthy baby boy, so it all worked out. But yeah, so the SPY is now over the 200 EMA, over the volume weighted average price. Now, this is a really important level to see if it's going to hold because these are two really influential levels of stock market activity, right? So we have the SPY right here. This 200 EMA volume weighted average price level is, super important for trading. Super important for trading. Most traders are watching at least one or two of these levels. They're either watching the 200 EMA or the VWAP here, which is the purple line. And so to be above those is a pretty good sentiment changing thing. Now we'll see if we actually hold support over the 200 EMA and the VWAP. But yeah. Yeah, I've shared that story before. Carol's actually shared it before here, but it's a cool story. It's a good story. For sure, worked out. But no, so you can see the stock pulling back under the 200 EMA. And so right now we're kind of in that range. If we zoom in here, hold on. If we zoom in here, we're right at the VWAP now. But again, what is mostly causing this is Amazon's movement here. So here's Amazon. So Amazon up to over 116s. 116.50 might be a psychological resistance level. And so we'll see if it holds that spot. But the market needs a bounce back. The previous closing price is right at 414. Like, let me put this up on the chart. All right, so you see the previous closing price. This is the level at which it goes from green to red, red to green. And so you can kind of see the SPY is gapping down $2.09. Yeah, a lot of times, Maximus, traders will get like beginner's luck, and that'll influence the sizing that they take, and it turns into just a really risky thing, man. Like the worst thing that can happen to a trader sometimes is in the beginning they make a bunch of money. So like think about it yourself, right? If you get started trading and you make 20K, you know, you're loving life. You're like, oh man, I'm gonna make this every week for the rest of my life now. This is the greatest thing ever. Now I found this opportunity where I'm gonna be making 20K a week now or whatever, 20K a month now. I'm set for life now in the beginning. But a lot of the time it's just variance. Like trading is just like poker. Poker, you can do everything right in poker and still lose. And in that regard, you can do everything wrong and still win in poker. And the same thing goes in trading. You might take the most perfect A+ setup in the world and it still just dumps on you if it's long. And so variance is real. And there's good variance and bad variance. There's positive variance where you get lucky and win, even though you shouldn't have. And there's negative variance where you did everything right and you still lose. And so sometimes new traders come in and they don't have risk management and they get lucky and they think that their days of struggling are over. And so they end up taking more risk and losing more money, and it can just kind of destroy them because they got so optimistic and happy about, riding off into the sunset, making that money. And then they realize it was just kind of luck. And then, then it's really hard to accept it. They keep chasing that high of making big money and they just kind of destroy all their money doing it. I've seen it happen a lot. Right, for sure. There's what's called plus EV. So if you do something right in poker, if you make the right decision in poker over the long run, you'll make money. The variance is lowered, over the long run. The more you zoom out, the lower the variance is. Same thing in trading, where if you do everything right in trading, theoretically, you still should make money over the long run. Short term, you're going to have variance. You're going to have good trade, bad trades. Probabilities are a big thing here in trading, just like in poker. But yeah, it varies for sure. Yeah, in trading, you can do the same thing, earn. So he said in poker, you could win 100 hands and lose it all in one. In trading, you could win 100 trades in a row and lose everything you made plus more, especially if you're using something like the martingale strategy. But yeah, in trading, it's the same thing, man. You can do exactly the same thing. Let me look at the economic data. I'm pretty sure we don't have any today, but let me be sure. Okay, so we got Canadian wholesale and manufacturing numbers coming out. All right, so again, SPY back down, Tesla back under the VWAP and under the 200 EMA. Amazon holding up there at 116.30s here. We'll see if that holds. Yes, Russ. There's a max loss for sure. Yeah, the FOMC minutes report is later on today. I'm excited, man. This is a busy week. We got a lot of stuff. We got NVIDIA earnings. We've got the FOMC Fed minutes report. We've got GDP data, jobless claims data. Tomorrow, we've got durable good orders and PCE data Friday. Really busy week, guys. Really busy week. And Tesla dumping down under the VWAP here. SPY actually testing those lows. And so you can see the market kind of rejected those two levels here. I always talk about how sometimes these two levels can be like a good resistance or support level. So like you can kind of see the SPY pulling back down. Again, you can kind of see the 200 EMA and the volume weighted average price are right around this 413 level. It's also a hold level. So to kind of teach you technical analysis here, this is just a big influential level. Let me see if I can put up a 200 EMA. Yeah, there we go. And so you can kind of see like in terms of resistance, this is something that a lot of traders can learn from, is that one thing you can do is wait for convergence to the same, wait for indicators to converge, right? And so in this case, we have the 200 EMA at the top. We have the 413 whole dollar level below it. And then we have the volume weighted average price below that, right? And so what happens here is that some traders are watching for a rejection off the 200 EMA. Some traders are watching for a rejection under 413s. Some traders are watching for a rejection at the VWAP here. And when all of them coincide to the same spot, what happens? You get a really strong resistance level. Even though we popped over it for less than a minute, you can kind of see how looking for levels and indicators to all kind of coincide to the same spot can be a powerful strategy that it just gives you some really solid levels to pay attention to. Because in this situation, all three of these are very close, right? So when the SPY pulls back to that and rejects, you kind of know it's because there's a lot of sellers going in there, a lot of people selling there, a lot of long traders using that as a profit taking level, a lot of short traders using that as an entry level, a lot of traders in general watching for rejection at 413. And so it all kind of coincides to the same spot. Is FOMC minutes a big market mover? It can be. It can be. Yeah, the best thing you can do is really just kind of slow down and not force trades. When trading, don't be like a cat chasing a laser pointer, whatever's running, learn a couple symbols. Yeah. Another quote of that is Bruce Lee, and this has been heavily used, but I remember saying this like 4 years ago on my channel, which is that Bruce Lee said, the quote goes something like, I don't fear the man who has practiced 1,000 different types of kicks. I fear the man that has practiced one type of kick 1,000 times. You know, so like learn one strategy and master that strategy. And then if that strategy does well, move on to some other ones, you know, but don't try to learn every strategy under the sun using every indicator under the sun. I really only use 2 indicators. I use the VWAP and the 200 EMA, and those treat me well. You know, those treat me well. Big, relevant market, influential. Yeah, pee like water. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, who's going to trade a same day expiring option? Earnings report's going to be at 4 p.m. The actual earnings call is going to be later. But yeah, it's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern time. No, you should be able to click the link, Oscar, and it gives you 30% at checkout. There probably is, Shaw. I would assume there is. Oh, wow. This guy, Chris. I don't get the joke. Foo. I don't get the joke. So wait, 0 days till expiration options are the most traded right now? Really? So how do you trade them? You're just day trading them, right? I guess they're probably going to have high liquidity because they get bought and sold same day. Correct. I've never tried. Maybe I should try. So people are day trading these, huh? I mean, I can't hate. Maybe, again, I'm not saying you can't make money. Oh. Yeah. Okay, now I get it. Yeah, I mean, if you're day trading. Who do y'all have? Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Who you got? Who do y'all have? I gotta go with Chandler, bro. I mean, I like Conor. I hope Conor wins. I want to see Conor win and get a win finally. But Chandler's got wrestling, and Chandler can take him down. I don't know. Chandler could be a little chinny, though, to be honest. But we'll see. Chandler's got the takedowns, you know. Again, Amazon bouncing at the VWAP here. He is. He's a little chinny, you know. I mean, he's not as bad as like Eddie Alvarez or anybody, but like, you know. I don't know. Chandler's been in some wars against Alvarez. I used to love watching Eddie Alvarez and Michael Chandler fight in Bellator. It was one of Bellator's greatest fights ever. Plus, it's a way around the 2-day money settle. Oh, so you can day trade and have your money settled the next day. Hustle hard. That makes sense. Yeah, that's what Connor started doing wrong. Is he started to like that old karate stance that he knocked out Aldo with, was destroying people. The problem though in that situation, and the reason he probably switched it up, is because with that stance he's very susceptible to leg kicks. Right? Like that was Connor's issue, is that like when he stands like that, he's just susceptible to leg kicks. Oh yeah, Connor's definitely juicing for sure, without question. He'll cycle off of it beforehand, but he's definitely juicing. You know? He's huge. Yeah, I've never messed with them. I'll have to mess with them one day. I don't know. I'm just glad to be back today. Again, my son graduated from 3rd grade yesterday. Also, y'all hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna throw this stream in sub only mode. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button, guys. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Announce yourself. Show us that you're subbed. Like Jones hiding under the ring. Yeah, I got to give Jones his credit, though. He's the GOAT, man. I mean, listen, he might have done some sketchy stuff. I think there might be a little bit of an asterisk next to his name since all that stuff, especially with the estrogen blockers and stuff like that. But you can't deny the man's skill. He's the GOAT without question, I think. I don't even think it's arguable. I think the only other person that could compete with him is Khabib. But I think Khabib's problem is that he didn't hold the belt long enough. So he beat a couple champs and then he retired, where I think Jones has taken everybody else out and moved up in weight. And so I don't think it's really arguable for Khabib anymore. I loved Khabib. I thought Khabib was great. But I think Jones is probably the GOAT now. I don't think it's arguable anymore. Yeah, it's not a graduation ceremony. It was not a graduation ceremony. It was an award ceremony. So my son got acts of service as an award. So he got the award of acts of service because he's always doing things for his classmates, which is nice. The way it's pronounced is Habib, not Khabib. It's the way it's pronounced. The K is silent. It's Habib is how you pronounce his name. Yeah, I don't know, man. Coffee's good, guys. Coffee's good. Real estate stocks, I don't know, man. I think right now the real estate market, especially commercial, is struggling. Bro, why would you bet on Conor versus Khabib, man? Again, I don't understand that, bro. I think obviously, Conor was about to lose that fight, bro. I knew he was gonna lose as soon as the fight started. I didn't even think it would be close, and it wasn't. Conor's great. I think he did a lot for the sport, but I don't think he had anything on Khabib. I think Khabib is just gonna destroy anybody. While he's in his prime, at least, which he was. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Commercial real estate, financial is looking a little tough right now, man. Commercial real estate, and the logic of it makes sense. I mean, if you really think about it, people don't need to rent out commercial buildings anymore for businesses. Like most businesses are, even with the I bumped my mic. Even with the remote work kicking up a notch over the last couple years since 2020, I think that's bad for commercial, and I think commercial is struggling in that regard. I think even residential is struggling more than it was. So residential is still not doing like the best either. It's not bad. Again, I talked about it before. It's just not as good as it was a year ago. But yeah, so the real way you pronounce his name is Habib, like that. So it's kind of a hard H sound. The K is just meant to strengthen the H after looking it up on Google. But what if you could buy commercial buildings at a cheap price because they make a comeback? Yeah, I mean, that's still fine. And maybe there'll be some discounts, but it's kind of like when the stock market is down. The market's still down and weak, and you might find some discounts there, but the market's still down. Another thing, guys, y'all check out Chart Prime. Chart Prime is a trading view indicator service in which they give you custom reversal and alert signals. Again, I like using indicators, and this is kind of another one of the tools that I add to my tool shed a little bit. And again, you can kind of see why. So here's a 5-minute chart for Chart Prime over the last 2 days of price action here. So nothing today really, but like here's Chart Prime over the last 2 days, and these do not repaint. Just to put it into perspective, these do not repaint. Right. And so one of the things that you can see is really powerful about them is that they give you custom reversal signals. It's kind of like a custom VWAP, and it's very cheap. It's like $35 a month. All right. So it's not an expensive indicator service. But again, they give you these alerts that show up at the next candle. Right. So you can see reversal down signal here drops. When you get multiple showing up together at once, here's a possible reversal up and a bullish engulfing candle. You can kind of see it in there. You get a nice little bounce. Again, reversal down signal here, drop. Reversal up signal here, bounce. And so they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased in their favor, but I can't fake this. Like this is really what they've done over the last few days. My favorite is a 5-minute chart, by the way. Possible reversal up and bullish engulfing candle, bounce. Possible reversal up and bullish engulfing candle, bounce. And so again, look, even here, bearish engulfing reversal down, you get drops over like a 30 or 40-minute period here. I can't fake this. Like I literally can't fake this. And again, I'm not betting my trades only around this, even though I think sometimes people can. And again, I can't guarantee they're going to work. I can't guarantee you're going to make money. They are just simply meant to improve your trading results here. Look at reversal down signals drop. And again, even this morning, right, we've seen 2 bullish hammer and engulfing candles here, and you get bounces afterwards. Bounce, bounce. And so it can be really, really influential. And you can use them in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures. Very useful, guys. Very useful. It's called Chart Prime. You can get 40% off. Get it for like $35 a month if you use my link here. And I'll post the link right there. Great way to help support the channel. Yeah, real estate can be slow right now for sure. Again, that's only the second plug I've done all day today, and we've been streaming for about 3 hours, give or take, about 3 hours. And so just like the radio, like we're a free resource and community. We have sponsors, of course, but like we try not to plug them super heavily. You know, we plug them once every couple, once every hour or so. Um, Microsoft. So you're in Microsoft long. Just be careful, man. Again, there's just a lot of risk and stuff like that. Again, Microsoft down yesterday, but they're still up crazy amounts here. If you look at a daily chart, like here's Amazon, it's finally pulling back. Here's Microsoft. Microsoft's been on a tear, man. They hit lows of 213 in November, and this is them since November. They have just been on a huge parabolic rise over the last 7 months or so. So just crazy big movement. We got a lot of stuff being released. Nothing in the morning, though, Justin. So today we have the FOMC minutes report coming out at 2 p.m. And again, subscribe. We'll stream all of it. No, we'll stream all of it. So we got the FOMC minutes report at 2 p.m. We got NVIDIA earnings at 4 p.m. And then we're going to do a crypto show later on today as well. So we just got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. But the morning's a little bit slow, and the next 3 days are going to be very volatile and very active days. How are you guys doing this week? Are you guys green? We lost a little bit day trading yesterday, but again, we had to close it down. We didn't really catch the opening bell yesterday, too, because my son's awards ceremony was yesterday. But yeah, look at Microsoft just pump up here, man. Again, Amazon has been the big rip this morning. It's kind of finally dipping down to the VWAP here. So here's the volume weighted average price pullback on Amazon. Again, we'll see if it holds. We'll see if it holds. Yeah, trading Apple. I mean, Apple's down, but again, y'all have to remember something. Tech is up big over the last 2 months. Tech is all up, almost all tech. So again, let's take a look. So Amazon, let's look at a yearly chart. So since December, this is Amazon's chart. So since December, Amazon has basically ripped up big, right? So this is since December. Google, up a ton since December. Here's December chart, up a huge amount from about $90, $80, 80 something dollars in December and February, all the way up to 120s right now. Microsoft, again, huge parabolic rise. In December, it was at like 250s. It's currently at 320s. Huge move up. Any other tech stocks y'all want me to look at? NVIDIA. They have earnings today, man. Since October, this thing has gone from 108 to 320s at its highs over the last few days. NVIDIA, huge move. Intel hasn't really reacted that much. It's only up to $30. Snapchat, not really doing the best at about 980s right now. Tesla has been on a pretty big rise, although it's been a little bit weaker over the last couple of days as well here. So yeah, tech stocks have been on an absolute run. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go on a bathroom break. While I do that, what's your favorite stock to buy after yesterday's dip? Answer this question, guys. I will be right back. I'm going to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. SPY's still cracking under lows here. And so again, we'll see how tech responds to all of this stuff. But yeah, market's still cracking under lows. Warner Brothers, Paramount, and Disney due to Netflix. Amazon. Broadcom, AMD. Yeah, I mean, we can look at AMD and see what AMD's been looking like. I think AMD's been running up too here. So yeah, AMD has been on a huge tear since November as well in tech. A little bit stronger than everything else. So like, look at this huge run for AMD here. AMD now pulling back to 106. It's just up a lot. SPY breaking lows as well here, team. So we are finally getting some correction to the downside. And I did think the market was a little extended here. So yeah, there's a SPY down at 412s. Yeah, we'll see if AMD bounces. SPY down at lows. Again, I'm not really confident enough in buying anything. I mean, I guess I could buy some stuff. I might buy this dip. Let me pull up a micro E-mini. I'm not going to buy a larger trade. So we might buy this dip now. We're just down a lot. So we're in 3 contracts of the regular E-mini right now. 3 contracts of the regular. We'll give this a little bit of time to see if it works. We just bought 3 contracts. First trade of the day right now. So it's our first trade. I think everything's down enough where we could have some longer term extension on the day on the downside, but I think I have to just be patient and wait. So we went ahead and added 4 contracts here. Let's see if we bounce. Here's the SPY down to 412.20s. All right, so we're still down a little bit, but not much. Warren Buffett says keep cash. So SPY down to 412s. Again, we're probably going to cut this. I'm down 20 bucks here, but I'm not going to hold this forever. My only other option is to add to this here at the low. And maybe I could, but Okay, so I gave it a little bit of time. We added one contract here. We're only down $5 now. I want to be careful. I don't like just continuing to add to something until it's green. But I wanted to buy it at this isolated low right here, which looked interesting. All right, so we're starting to be green. We're kind of break even now. All right, so now we're nicely green here. We'll give it time, though. I want to give it time to bounce. All right, so now we're getting a flush right back down here. So we're right in the middle range, but I like the low. We got a double bottom right here, short term. I do like I'm also watching like AMD. We're watching Amazon. We're watching Apple here. I do like this about Quant Tower, that it kind of gives me this little alert if I'm about to, if a new minute's about to open up. There we go. All right, so we're back up again. We're pretty close to flat again. Let's see if the SPY bounces here. We got a little bit of a double bottom. We'll give it time. Again, patience. Starting to test those top levels. Again, we're up to almost 4,138 here. We're consolidating back and forth. We're still kind of green. Almost back up there, testing the top range. Again, watching the SPY, watching AMD, watching Tesla at the very bottom here. I might switch Tesla to the top chart, but we're testing the average price that we're in now. SPY still moving down. We put like maybe the dollar index up if y'all can even see this. All right, so there's a flush down. We will sell this pretty soon. Now it's retracing back up. Again, that could have just stopped people out because it did retrace pretty quick. So we're getting some consolidation action here where we're not really down that much, but it kind of keeps going back and forth to the bottom here. I do think there's some extension on the downside that the market's playing out. All right, so now we're back to flat. Testing the top of the range. Again, we've been patient here. We've been patient. Back down again. Again, kind of sitting here, trying to be patient. Again, we'll use today's low as a risk, and if we get stopped out, that's fine. Again, it's very small. We're trading the micro. So we're trading the micro E-mini. So yeah, we'll give it time. Back down to the bottom of the range. Yeah, I don't know. AI hype is big, man. And I think AI is the future in a lot of things. That's what dragged Microsoft and Google back up. Yeah, KSS had good earnings. Yeah, I'm trying to be patient with this shot. We'll see what happens, man. Again, I don't know if it cracks lows, I'll probably get out. I don't have any need to sit in this, and I can jump right back in after the opening bell if it looks more favorable after that. Like, I don't mind. I'm one of those traders. Like, I don't mind getting out and then getting right back in if I need to. If I get stopped out or faked out or whatever. Some of my best trades are when I get out and get right back in, and then I make money. You know. All right, so we're right back up to that level. Testing that range again. All right, so we're testing the low again. I'm probably going to cut it. I don't know. If we bounce here, it'll be a triple bottom, but it could flush a little bit more. I don't mind losing 50 or 60 bucks here. I really don't. It's not like it's a huge loss or anything like that. It looks like it's starting to try to retrace again. But if it firmly breaks, we'd cut it, but it keeps kind of bouncing right at this low level. You can kind of see the same thing in the SPY right here on the right. So retracing all the way back up. Again, bounce a bit. We now have a triple bottom here, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. All right, now we're moving back up again, kind of flat. What is the rest of the market doing here? I got to look at like what Amazon is doing right now. Got to look at like the dollar index too. Amazon's starting to pull back. That might be what's dragging the market back down. All right, there we go. So we're back to basically flat on the trade. Again, being patient. We got a triple bottom now at the low. The dollar index is moving up some, so that's kind of not really the best look for it, but we're just kicking back here. We got 23 minutes. What do you think of the Disney dip? I might add to it. I don't know. We'll see. I ended up taking most of my profit. I told you guys earlier. I ended up taking most of my profit off at 94. So like, here's the exit I did on Disney. I even took a picture of it. So you can kind of see we added down here at the 91s, and then we took profit when it hit 94 a few days ago. We took 250 shares off. So big profit taking there. And so we're still holding a little bit, but it's certainly not most of the position. It's a much smaller position now. And so what I'm going to do on the rest, I don't know. I could add some more to it. I could just wait, which is what I'm kind of leaning more towards, just kind of sitting here waiting. All right, up slightly again. We're at least we're not down on the trade. At least we're not down on the trade currently. And again, we'll see if we bounce back. Implementing generative AI is big, but it costs billions. Yeah, there's a bunch of cryptos related to AI. Finding good ones is a different story, though. Render has to do with AI, though. You know, so like Render is AI as well. Bringing tech down, maybe Nvidia, but Nvidia's up a lot. What dragged the market down is the debt ceiling talks, though. So like the debt ceiling stuff is what's influencing the market negatively here for sure. All right, so again, we're topping up. I'm not going to take profit yet. We're in 5 contracts in the micro. Carol about to call John in 20 minutes when the market opens? Probably. Isn't Jarvis already a reality? I think you are. Yeah, Carol's got the worst timing with when she calls me. She literally called me yesterday at the opening bell. Like literally 20 seconds into the open. All right, so we're up slightly here, consolidating. Now we're starting to pop up a little bit. I could take some off here, but I don't know. It's just not a big trade. Even if I lose 50 bucks, it's not bad. Hopefully I make 50 or more, but I want to give the market time to bounce, and it has been. Just not enough for me to really lock in profit with my 5 contract position. That's a little bit better. It went right back down. It went right back up. All right, we took half off there, or less than half. All right, we took a little bit more as it's rising up. We'll hold the rest flat now. There we go. All right, good luck, Sam. Jarvis, I mean, ChatGPT is basically the same thing, but it's less restrictive. All right, there's a nice little pop-up. We're going to go ahead and take another piece off there. Just locked in some more. We got the nice little bounce back at the triple bottom there. Starting the day with a nice little cushion so far. What's up, Joe? I'm going to go ahead and cut this. So we're up about 30 bucks on the day now. Got a little cushion here. We got the bounce back that we wanted. We were patient with it. Not the biggest gain for the time it took, but it's early pre-market. We still got about 18 minutes or so into the market open. So it's restricted to data until 21. Yeah, maybe. Man, SPY's still pumping up some more here. Maybe we'll get a little pullback. We got some money on it. We got a cushion. That's always good. That's always what we want. It's just to build a cushion first. All right, so we're starting to move up, pull it back a little bit. The dollar index is kind of trending with the market, though. So the dollar index has been moving up the last 5 minutes with the market. Amazon finally pulling back down. All right, it's finally dipping down slightly now. Again, give it a time. Tesla's still looking pretty weak on the day, though. Also, remember, the market's closed next Monday for Memorial Day. So it's got a busy couple weeks here because the market's going to be closed. We got a bunch of stuff dropping next week as well. We're now pulling back some. Starting to dip down some. I could buy the dip, but I think I'm just going to wait on this one now. Again, we bought the extension prior to that. Yeah, we got the extension bounce back up to that previous low, but now we're kind of pulling back down here as well. So interesting. All right, so again, Amazon was really strong at the beginning of the day. It's now finally pulling back. Amazon's almost flat on the day now, which is interesting. Get started to move back. Maybe Sellers looking in control as far as I see. Amazon is a pre-market. Yeah, I mean, that PE ratio is so high, dude. Maybe some of your success is due to a lot of people hoping you do good. Yeah, I hope so. You know? GCT results were crazy. Might pull an HKD. I don't know, man. I'm seeing GCT. It's moving up a little bit, but I guess it is honestly pretty crazy here. Here's GCT right here. So here's GCT. The latest penny stock to just make a crazy big run. You can see it on the top right section here. So just a huge move. Again, I'm not going to mess with it because it's too risky for me. A lot of these are never going to hold their gains. They might run up to obscene levels beforehand, but they're never going to actually hold their gains. They never do. Started to bounce back up a little bit. Twitter is sometimes brutal. Got my shorts filled flat to the open. Yeah, just be careful with these pity stocks, man. A lot of the time they're not going to hold. So a lot of the time they're just not holding. And so y'all just be safe, man. Again, just be careful. All right, so we started to bounce up a little bit. Out of 800 people, it's pretty much 50-50. Yeah, I mean, it kind of shows bull versus bear sentiment. I mean, a 53% think no, the market's not going to bounce. 47% think the market is going to bounce. And again, we'll see. Again, shows bull bear sentiment. And so Microsoft just dropped this. All free ChatGPT users can browse the real-time internet using the Browsing with Bing plugin soon. And let's see how that influences things with AI, man. AI's got a lot of craziness. Microsoft is on a huge tear. So we did bounce right at that same bottom that we drew here. I think at this point, this bottom is confirmed enough for us to draw a level here for the market open. We'll see. It's at 413750 here. I'm also going to put it on the regular E-mini, 413750. So this is down here. So I'm going to draw this level here so I have it on my chart, 413750. Which is right, if you're on the SPY, it's right around 412.15s or so, 412.20s. But yeah, let's watch it. We're slightly green on the day, though. We'll see if we get something good. But again, 8 minutes here, 8 minutes, guys. Hey, what's up, Erebus? Good morning. Any chance you know how to listen to Yeah, I got you, man. I'll send you the link wherever it is. Hold on, let me find it. What is she supposed to speak here? It's supposed to be at 10 a.m., right? In about 40 minutes. Yeah. How long is the speech? Let me go to the. So what's today? The 24th. I'm assuming it's going to be on the Treasury Department. Is my guess. Yeah, I don't know. Chat, where is it going to be featured here? I don't know. I'll have to find it. Yellen is speaking. I'll try to find it, Pablo. I got you, man. All right, but yeah, GCT still pulling back. SPY still up there. Tesla still trying to make moves. But break it down this morning. But yeah, we'll try to find it for you guys. We'll probably cover it. I mean, we can cover a little bit of it. Yeah, I can't find it anywhere. It's somewhere, but I don't know where. All right, market's still pulling back sideways over the last couple minutes. Dollar index still moving up. GCT still trying. Tesla broke lows. Amazon still breaking down some. All right, so we're testing that low level again. And regardless of whether we break underneath it, I'm still watching it. Yeah, it's hard to find this one, man. Let me check on the schedule. Yeah, I don't see anything, man. I'm looking. Oh, wait. Today's May 24th. Oh, here it is. Barr, Davidson, Lucas. Maybe this isn't it. This is the Financial Services Committee. All right, so we're bouncing back up over that level. Again, confirms the level even more. Hey, what's up? Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, I don't know, Pablo. This one's hard to find, man. I usually cover all the big stuff. I mean, this is a little bit more political related than I generally cover, but yeah, we're looking for it. Again, guys, about 2.5 minutes here. 2.5 minutes. Yeah, sorry to tell you this, but I'm trading futures right now. But I'm trading the S&P 500 and I'm watching stocks, so it varies. Like we do a little bit of everything. Market go up or down at the open bell, guys. We're right at the support level. We got 2 minutes here, team. 2 minutes. Let me know what you guys think we're getting. All right, so we're starting to bounce back a little bit. Still same at the exact same level here, guys. So on the futures, watch 413750. On the SPY, watch 41220s, 41215s. This level was held numerous times now, 3 or 4 times. Back and forth, back and forth. It's really where my original dip buy was, and we pulled back to it again and then bounced up again right here. So very choppy neutral action. That's certainly the bottom of the range here, but y'all just be careful. All right, so again, market moving up. I don't know. I think the metaverse is less hyped up now. I think the metaverse is I think it's just getting less attention. So there's the market bouncing up a little bit at the open. I think the metaverse is starting to lose hype. Best way I could put it. Again, E-mini pull it back down a little bit here. So we got this big level, but still pretty choppy. SPY dropping down a little bit after the opening bell. Patience today, guys. Again, y'all do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. We're almost up to 108,000 subscribers. Almost up to 108K. All right, there's the market hitting that same level we talked about, guys. We break under that level, we might short, but it's still a little early for me to trade. It's about a minute. And again, we bounced exactly off of that level. We confirmed it again here. All right, we did crack under that level here. It's still a little bit too early, I think, for my taste to trade this. So I'll patiently wait now. Man, I could have shorted it, but trying to be patient. Again, we're a little bit too early after the open. I don't really have the biggest edge in the first minute or two since the opening bell, and so I think it really is probably a better move to just chill right here and wait. Market's cracking down a little bit. And again, my guess is the debt ceiling news. All right, there's the SPY cracking 412s. I'm going to short a piece of this here, a small piece. There's a crack. I really like this move. It pumped right back up. Give it a time. Luckily, we're green on the day, so we got time to let this work. Let's see if 412 rejects. If 412 doesn't reject, we'll get out. Pretty flat on the day. All right, so we're back to break even. Green a little bit now. I'm going to get out there. This is just consolidating too much. Maybe it flushes down, but I just want to take my profit there real quick. We're up about 40 on the day now. Got a cushion at least. And then we retraced back up, so it looks like it was the right move. Amazon moved up a little bit at the open, but it's still back under the VWAP here. SPY is right at the lows. I think it looks like it's going to bounce a little bit now. So we'll see, though. Who knows what it's going to do. Big pop back. Part of me wants to short this, and I think I will. Huge tear back here. So luckily we had cushion on the day. All right, we came right back down. Ooh, I'm going to cut that. That looks very strong. So, yeah, we just got faked out there. We're down a little bit now on the day. We're down like 30, 40 bucks. I'm going to wait now. So, we got upward movement, downward movement. Market dropped and went up. And so now we're just got to sit and wait for some type of range to form here, I think. Try to be patient with it, too. Huge run up, though, man. That's a big move up. I think I just got to sit now. All right, so basically so far, we moved up a little bit right before the open, dropped at the opening bell, and now we've bounced back up some in the last 5 minutes. So basically sideways since the open. We'll see if the market regains some strength. I think a lot of stuff's extended on the downside here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see green action today. But again, a lot of stuff's kind of extended on the downside, I think, now. Patiently waiting here. Again, I don't really see much of an edge right now. This kind of looks weak, but it kind of looks strong too. Again, so I don't really see much of an edge. Maybe I think it looks a little bit more weak than strong. So if I had to bet a direction, I'd probably bet the downside. But I really don't know what to do here. So I'm just going to sit. I think it's too choppy right now. So I think it could go either way. There's not really any profound edge here right now for me, at least. We might start bet on a downward trend if we start to flush here. Oh man, I'm nauseous. I got a standing desk, but I don't want to risk it too much here. The last time I tried to raise this desk, my whole PC fell. So I think I'm just gonna chill now and wait.
I think it's acid reflux. All right, market's starting to pull back to the bottom of the range. You can see that level we drew as resistance held. No, I have the electric death shot, so I can actually raise this one and lower it. Like, look. Oh, no. Just me raising it there made this monitor go out, so I'm not going to raise it anymore. Yeah, I do have that one, Sha. So I already have that one, bro. This is an electric desk. I can raise this one and stand up if I want, but I don't think my left monitor cord is long enough. You know. So yeah, unfortunately, my cords aren't long enough. I have to buy some more cords for it. I'm gonna go ahead and bet on the downside here. I might be wildly wrong. I think the extension's actually on the downside right now. So, but I'm gonna take one little bet, and then if this doesn't work, I'll scale down my size. Very choppy market. There we go. See if we break on the downside now. We got the push down. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it there. All right, so we just got back to green on the day on that one trade. We are up about 30 bucks on the day or so, give or take. How much is that desk? I'm thinking about getting one. This one was 700. I think it was like 700. It was somewhere in that ballpark, like $700-800 or so. I got it off of Amazon. You got to put it together, but it's really cool. Honestly, I've got if y'all have never seen my desk setup, right? Like I've got 4 monitors and they're stacked. So the one y'all see is actually my top monitor. It's up here. You know, I have a 34-inch ultra wide on the very top. That's the one y'all see. And then the bottom one is the one I manage my stream with. It's a 34-inch ultra wide. It's on the bottom. And then I've got a 27-inch on the left, which is where the camera is right here. And then I've got another 27-inch on my right. So I've got too many monitors to have this thing. If I scaled it down, I'd probably get a little bit better. But share a picture. Let me see if I got one. Should have held that short. Ugh. It's been a while, man. Yeah, I don't know how to find my monitor setup. It's somewhere, man. There's a little bounce here. Part of me wants to short this. Got a little picture of it on. I got a picture of it somewhere. I'll find it, but I want to focus on trading right now. I guess I could take a picture of it real quick. All right, market's bouncing right at that low here. I got a bunch of junk on my desk here, but I have to take it this way. Yeah. Yeah, let me put my charts up here so it doesn't look messy. All right, so again, I kind of wanted to short into this little pop, but I didn't here.
This is the best picture I got. I'll show you guys in a second. Let me get right back to trading. Gold just dumped. Yeah. There we go. Hey, Bulldog Trading's in my Discord. What's up, man? All right, so I should have shorted into that pop. That's kind of what I wanted to. Tesla break it down a little bit. Dollar index still pumping up some. Let me make sure. Not the best picture, but it's basically as good as y'all are going to get. So this is my monitor setup. That's my monitor setup. So this is the monitor y'all see at the top. This one. This is the one I usually control my monitor with. These are the left side, the right side. You know. So that's my setup. When AI takes over your monitors, we'll take a selfie of themselves. That's right. Yeah, I don't know how long Yellen's gonna speak. See, I don't know how long Yellen's gonna speak. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Shane. Apple flying? Yeah, man. I mean, we get a lot of stuff that's running up some. But the rest of the market's falling down here. Aloe juice? Yeah, I'll have to try it. Yeah, we got a busy day today, too. We're slightly green, not super green. The market's not really showing like an obvious trend or anything like that. So the market's not really showing like an obvious trend. Disney breaking lows. So we could add some more to it. I don't want to add too much to it, though. Like I said, I don't want too much risk. I'm willing to hold this long term. And in order for me to hold it long term, I kind of got to just not take too much size with it. Powell's not talking today. Yeah. Powell's not talking today. What we have today is the Fed minutes report, which is a PDF file that goes live at a certain amount of time. Down to 410 straight, maybe. We're close there. The dollar index is loving this. Again, this is all the debt ceiling woes and fears is causing this stuff, All right, so we still got some crackdowns. I should have shorted like I wanted to, man. That would have been great. Yeah, the minutes report moves the markets for sure. The question is how much will it move, and we don't know, The question is, do we add to the bottom now? I'm going to buy up this dip. It's kind of catching a falling knife here. And we're green on the day already, so we got a cushion. But there's risk to this for sure. We've cracked down so much that I think we could be due for a bounce, but we'll give it some time. All right, so we just cut that, made a little bit more there. We are now green about 75 on the day. Kind of building up some cushion so we can take some larger swings when we can. I like how you ban that guy quickly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, jealousy is a strong thing, and they'll deny it. They'll act like I'm jealous, or they'll act like whatever it is. Anybody acting like that, creating fake accounts, trying to troll me, is just doing so out of jealousy, unfortunately. And, you know, they can let it out. I mean, they need that release. And so, I mean, you know, they can keep trying to get it here, but they deep down inside, they know what it really means, you know. The minutes is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I mean, the market's actually pretty volatile, though, so we are getting some volatility. We'll give it time. The Amazon is trending against the whole market, though, so Amazon moving up while the market dumps. My friend got jealous of something I told him I achieved. 3 amazing years of friendship ended in a day. Just stopped talking to me. I figured it out. Honestly, you'd be surprised at how often it is what it is, man. Like, jealousy is such a strong thing, dude. Like you think if you have success and stuff that people will be happy for you. A large majority of them are not. Like, a large majority of people do not want you to do better, including family in my end as well. Like, some of my family members get weird with me because of like the kind of car I drive, or like whatever it is. Like, I'm wrong for driving a, you know, like nice car. Jealousy is just strong, man. And what you realize very quick, like, my immediate family obviously wants me to do well. Like, my parents, of course, like my wife, you know, they obviously want me to do well, but you know, most people don't, is what you learn. Like, most people are just insecure about their own situation, and then they kind of, that reflects on stuff like that. Unfortunately, the best thing you can do is just understand it, you know, have empathy for them, but not make yourself vulnerable to stuff like that, because they, you know, most people, they're just looking for a way, you know what I mean? All right. Sorry, I'm sitting here talking to my wife. Yeah, misery loves company, 100%. People that are struggling, they want to drag you down, you know? Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm sitting here talking to Carol, you know? But yeah, misery loves company, man. It's just kind of how it goes. But no, I feel you, Daily. I really do. I feel you, man. Oil? Yeah, man. I haven't been, again, we're watching Disney. Like, we added a little bit to Disney. Yeah, the wife should be happy. Yeah. No, I was talking about how sometimes, like, you think, like, if you do well or have success and stuff, that like your family and friends will be happy for you. A lot of the time they're not. You know, a lot of the time it's just like they're mad that they're not in your position, is usually how it goes. And it's unfortunate, but like, it is what it is. Again, I feel for them. Best thing you can do is have empathy. You know.
I don't know why anyone would do that.
Oh no, we're not even. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about just in general, just
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got me wondering for the guy to just stop talking to him. I've had some friends like that, man. Usually the friends that do that are the friends when you were growing up, that they're talking about, like, they're talking a big game about how much they're going to do when they get older, about all the girls they're going to get and all the stuff, or whatever it is, right? Like, it's usually the friends that talk the biggest about what they're going to do that don't end up doing it that are the most affected by other people's success. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe Disney. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, John, you can leave now. Yeah. I mean, we're giving it Disney. I'm probably just gonna sit in my Disney trade. Like, I'm okay if I lose money short term. I think long term Disney will be fine. I know they're gonna announce some new Star Wars movies coming out, and so that might make a pump up happen. Was that Bruce?
Yeah, I gotta go let the dogs out. They're whining at me.
Yeah, so no, this is basically the market's basically fallen today. Yeah, and the market's mostly dropping from the debt ceiling fears. We got about a week to let this settle. So we got about a week to let this settle. And so this is all basically from the debt ceiling fears. The market is still up a lot over the last 6 months. If you look at the market over the last 6 months, I mean, here's the chart of the market over the last 6 months. So it's not like the market is down at all. We're still up a lot. And this, honestly, if you continue in this trend, right? So if you look in this trend, well, I guess you could draw it. Like, if you look at the trend here, the market is still in the same trend it's in. Like, we're just at the bottom of the range now. And so the drops today are not great, but I'm not super worried about them. I think if we start to drop under 370s, 380s, that's when you can say, okay, the market might be in trouble. But until then, I think we got to just chill and just not put too much weight on pullbacks, especially after the market's been flying up,
Hey, Pawn. Hottest 3 in the world.
Yeah, definitely hottest 3 for sure. Top 3 for sure.
I don't even know where that started. I mean,
Carol's definitely one of my top 3 wives ever right now. Definitely one of my top 3 wives ever. Yeah. But no, market's pulling back. Again, today's a day where we got a lot of stuff coming out too. So we got the Fed minutes report at 2 p.m. and then we got Nvidia earnings at 4 p.m. and then we have tomorrow we have GDP data coming out, and then we also have jobless claims numbers coming out. And then Friday we have PCE deflator and durable good orders. So we got a lot of economic releases happening over the next 2 or 3 days. And so it'll be a big movement. This will all move the market and affect the market a lot, I think. So we'll see, but yeah. Nah, bro, I make enough money on the back end of this channel that it doesn't matter how much I lose today, to be honest.
yeah, no, it's good. I trust John. I trust his judgment.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, today's gonna be a busy day too. I also have a meeting at 9:30 our time, so 10:30 market time. I got a meeting I got to go to anyway, so I'm gonna have to do a meeting and then the FOMC minutes report and then the Nvidia earnings and then a crypto show all after that. So I'm gonna be busy all afternoon. I'm gonna have to eat in between now and that meeting. My stomach kind of hurts too.
I guess we can't go to the gym today then, huh?
No, not today. I don't have time.
It's the only time I get with John.
We're definitely not about to go after you just said that, because now everybody knows we're going to the gym, or we would be, but we're not going to the gym because I just don't have time today.
Sorry.
One thing's for sure, the bounce up on the debt ceiling sign is going to be glorious. Yeah, I think so as well, Meat World. I think so as well. I think there's never been a default in history. And so I think it's very unlikely that we have one here as well. I think this is just fear. And I think when they announce, there's an argument for a trade where you can buy the dip now, and when they announce the default goes through, then the market flies up and you ride a bounce back up. Of course, there's always the outlier chance that we don't get that and that we actually do default, which is very unlikely. Even economists and analysts think it's a 2% chance. And so those are pretty good odds on a dip buy here, but maybe I'm wrong, and who knows, maybe the market just dumps. Skipping leg day. Nah, we do our leg day. Leg day's hard though, bro.
Well, John doesn't, he does leg day, but I think when he does leg day, it's, he gets more sore from it. Whereas I feel like maybe I'm doing legs more often. Maybe
Nah, dude, I do legs. I just do legs every 3 or 4 days. And you do legs every other day, which is fine.
Yeah. But I feel like when you do them regularly, they're not as bad because you kind of plateau, but
Yeah.
But when you do leg day, you're he's
oh, I'm sore.
But
But that means I'm doing leg day right, though, is what that means. If I'm sore afterwards, that means I'm doing it right.
Yeah, but if you do it often, it's it's hard to get that really
Well, you plateau, but you gotta switch up the exercises, is what it is.
That's probably why I am right
Yeah, I got weak calves. My calves are weak. Calves, it doesn't matter how much you work out, your calves ain't getting that much bigger. That's what sucks about calves. But I ran track in cross country in high school, so like my legs are not small, but my calves are. Yeah.
All right.
All right, baby.
I'm gonna go let the dogs out.
All right.
All right, everyone.
Everybody, thank Carol for coming on stream.
Y'all don't have to thank me every time. All right. Good luck, everyone.
Definitely one of my top 3 wives in the world right now. Thanks, Carol.
You're my top 3 husbands.
Okay, that's all right. Acceptable. You know. All right. Love you.
Love you.
All right. Yeah, calves are very highly genetic for sure. Yeah, I hate leg day, but I have to do it. But my legs are freaking burnt afterwards. Leg day, dude, doing a set of legs will get you freaking like scared, you know. Okay, hold on. All right, guys. So yeah, sorry, talking to Carol. Nah, man, she knows how to joke around, you know. So it's all good, man. It really is. But yeah, Mark has been flushing. My guess is yelling, saying some stuff people don't like, but I like that your wife is hot. It validates your trading advice. I mean, it should, bro. Listen, you know. I don't know how it does, but hey, man, that's right. You know, I'll take it. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't find it. I tried to find it earlier. It might be maybe easier to find now that it's actually live, but dollar index is pumping up here. I don't know what to do right now. I'm just gonna sit back. Again, we're green on the day. It's not a huge green day, but we're green. I don't know. I'm just agreeing with them because it helps me, you know, so that's okay. Well, yeah, it's like your core McFortune. He said if you don't do legs, your top can't grow to its fullest potential like a tree with small roots. Yeah, 100%. Well, your back too. Like your back and your legs, like deadlifts and squats are some of the biggest mass builders of anything. You know what I mean? So like if you want to build mass, you do deadlifts and squats. As I'm getting older, though, I can't do as much normal squats, like free weight squats. It's just a little bit harder because I'm getting older. Deadlifts too, but I can deadlift a lot. But squats is same thing with bench press, right? Like I know free weights are the most effective, but as I've gotten older and older, I don't feel like getting injured, you know? So like I still do it, but carefully. And I certainly don't go to failure as much anymore in those. But I used to. But yeah, Disney started to bounce back a little bit. $89 a share. Part of me wants to know whether I should add to it. I don't know yet. Amazon's still pumping up. Yeah, Amazon up to 116.50, still looking good. That's helping the market some too. Especially the market would be even more red if it wasn't for Amazon today. So you know. Yeah, it does. TJ. I'm not gonna say where I go to my gym, but it's like freaking Globo Gym, you know. Again, Amazon back up to the top, over VWAP, over 200 EMA, trying to hold. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, machines are always going to be a little bit less effective than free weights, you know. That's why, like, you see stuff like Peloton or like Bowflex or whatever. Like they're just gimmicky, man. They're just not like tonal. Like no matter how good it's just a gimmick sell. Like people who buy it are just kind of getting talked into it, spending thousands of dollars on basically one exercise. It's just not worth it, you know. I know like tonal's on the rise lately and like, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, we're gonna cover that FOMC minutes report for sure. Hey, thank you for the donation, Shadow. I didn't catch it early this morning, the $2 donation, but thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I still do free weights. I just don't I don't go super heavy into like bench or squats anymore. Like I'll still do them, you know, but not like super aggressively trying to gain mass anymore. Yeah, well, what? All right, so again, Amazon started to dip down a little bit. The SPY right at the low of the day again, kind of testing this level again here, guys. Kind of consolidating around this. Again, we'll see if it holds, but it's still kind of trying there. Here's the E-mini. See if it holds. It's right at that low level here. Depends on what Amazon does, what Yellen says here. But yeah, I mean, the stabilizer muscles are what free weights help you build. So like you might be able to do a bunch of leg presses on the press machine. But like if you try to squat the same amount, you're about to just fall, you know. Stabilizer muscles is what you got to build. Yeah, but I think the market was flying up ahead of all this anyway. So, you know, I understand for sure how this could be considered healthy. All right, market flushing back down. To get a little bit too extended on the downside for me to really get interested in buying this up super heavy, but we'll wait. Yeah, and you can kind of see the Tesla breakdown here. So here's Tesla flushing down here too. You know, so Tesla flushing down. SPY down big, down to 410s. Yeah, big drop. Yeah, man, I remember the Bowflex. Again, the Bowflex is cool, but it's a gimmick. It's kind of like Peloton. Like riding a VR bicycle is not going to be, you know, I did a poll a long time ago about what would you rather have, Peloton or an actual bicycle, and 90% of people voted for an actual bicycle. You know, I don't know what the benefit of a VR bicycle is. Like, what are we going to get, a virtual reality toothbrush now, or a virtual reality? You know, they're doing virtual reality rowing machines. I just don't understand that niche. You know what I mean? I really just don't understand it. I don't understand the use of it. Why somebody would want it? Why somebody would spend $4,000 or $5,000 on it? It just doesn't make sense. And what does make sense is Peloton's downfall over the last few years. Peloton has gone from like, you know, Peloton has gone from, in the last 2 years, $170 a share down to $6. So, I mean, not really a shock there, I think. Oh, Chuck Norris is the GOAT, dude. But yeah, guys, I'm just kind of sitting tight. If you haven't already, check out Top Step. Top Step funded account program for futures. They give you a demo. They test your skill. If you can hit the target on the demo while following their rules and conditions, they fund you between $50K up to $150K with a 90% split. What they do is, again, they give you a demo and they test your skill. There's no PDT in futures. And so a large majority of pro day traders, they day trade futures because there's no PDT restrictions. Like, you don't have to trade options. You don't have to trade a cash account. You don't have to trade penny stocks. You can day trade futures. You can day trade the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, currencies in futures, no PDT rule. And the cheapest barrier of entry is Top Step's funded account program. They are the most legit futures funded program in the world. They pay out millions in actual withdrawals every year. They fund thousands of traders a year. Most people are going to fail these challenges too, but you would lose way more if you put up the money yourself. And that's where the real edge is. So you would lose way more if you tried to put the money up yourself. Again, in the end, most traders are going to fail, but it's a lot cheaper to fail a Top Step account than put up 20K yourself. If you pass it, you still keep 90% of your profit. They got free one-on-one coaching. There's the Trade IQ, which allows you to build rules. Right now, there's a 30% off, and they also got rid of the daily max loss here. There's the link. Yeah, I should have shorted it at the top, man. I was ready to, too. But yeah, there's the link in chat. I'm going to get out of here. We will be back later on today, guys. So later on today, we got the FOMC minutes report. We got NVIDIA earnings. We are going to stream the entire thing completely live, as we always do, guys. So y'all be ready for that. I'll see you guys over there. Good luck. Y'all be safe. I'll be back in about, couple hours. I'll see you guys. Y'all be safe.